Mic check. Just want to make sure we're all good. Mic check. Let us know in the chat if you guys can hear me.
And we are live. Welcome on in, ladies and gentlemen. Bienvenidos, señoras y señores. This, I guess it's kind of like the NAI Ball podcast, but here we are. It is the national championship game. Our season ends tonight. We will crown a brand new national champion, and it is extremely exciting here. Hope International and Tennessee Wesleyan meeting for the national title. I'm Robbie Gutierrez, the former host of the NAI Ball podcast, and I guess longtime host of the NAI Ball podcast. I feel old now when I say how long I've been doing this or in this league in some capacity for the last 12 years. And we are absolutely excited to have y'all here. This is the first time we've done anything like this. I don't have a lighting setup, as you can see, or anything cool like Connor has, or even Taylor. And Tyler is on the road somewhere to Alabama tonight, so we wish him safe travels in that. But this is the first time we've done this. We'll get a better. I'll get a better setup. These guys are prepared, but I will get a better setup as we do this more. But for right now, welcome into my living room here in Deep South Texas, and we are absolutely thrilled that y'all are here with us and joining us for our first ever national championship watch along. What we're going to do is we're going to take you through the pregame, and then what we will do after that is we will go ahead and go through the first couple of innings for sure, at least the first two or three, and we'll check the vibe, see what it's like. If y'all are in here, if we're talking, if we're getting questions, if we're talking about the game and all of that, we might stay in here for who knows how long. Yesterday, Taylor and I were only supposed to talk into the ninth inning. We ended up talking well into the what was it, Taylor? The 11th there.
Yeah, pretty much up until the end of that instant classic out there late last night around 11:30 our time, I'd say. So it definitely turned into it as the game got better and better. And like you said, we had a lot of interaction last night, and looking forward to another instant classic tonight.
We had 700 and something people in the spaces yesterday. I wish we knew how to do that. I know our friends at 11.7 know how to do that. I'm going to have to reach out to them at some point. But we are super excited that y'all are here with us. So let me go ahead and introduce the team that you should already know. Connor Darnell is running our operations right now, making sure that we are okay. He also looks like he's piloting a helicopter. So Connor Darnell is making sure we're on air.
I'm doing it all
going
tonight.
over everything. And then Taylor Thomas as well is joining us, a co-host of the podcast. Guys, this is an exciting one. Tennessee Wesleyan, Hope International for a national title here in Lewiston. Winner take all, one game.
Yeah, and setting up the format of the tournament with the final three teams there that we saw last night. I just mentioned it, an instant classic for Tennessee Wesleyan, walking that off in what was the sixth meeting against Reinhardt this year. There in the 11th inning by Cruz Newman, who, as we've talked about, has come up clutch all postseason long, driving in Evan McGill there after McGill had reached to start the 11th. And now it sets up a winner take all. And for Hope International, you set up your pitching a little bit better with the day off after winning their four straight elimination games to get to this point, losing on day one to the Reinhardt Eagles. Setting up to be the ace on the mound, Trey Seeley, the right-hander, up over 120 strikeouts on the season. And then, of course, Tennessee Wesleyan, who, as we saw, has played extremely well these last couple of days to ultimately advance on to the national championship game here tonight, taking down Southeastern earlier on, and then that instant classic, like I said, against Reinhardt last night. It sets up to be another good one here tonight.
It's going to be an exciting game. Connor, before we go over the starting lineups, I want to give a quick shout out to Jason, who's been with us in every single Spaces. He's been with us here. I know he's for obvious reasons, if you know his story and Neelan's story, it is an honor to have you here as always, Jason. And we know y'all are a big TWU family. And I will share with you, my daughter absolutely loves Rocky Top. She does wear burnt orange though. So, hopefully sometime here, Texas will make a trip to Knoxville, and we'll have to find a way to go out there so she can hear some Rocky Top in person. But, we are excited to be here. Connor, this should be a great game tonight. I know you have been busy for almost the entirety of the World Series, but this one is a massive, massive game, and you know about these two teams as well as everyone here does.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. This is my 4th World Series, I think, with the brand. So, I mean, every year it seems like it gets better and better, and this is going to be probably one of my favorite games of the year. Obviously, it's going to be kind of hard to top last night. I mean, that's the classic, as Taylor was saying earlier, but this is going to be a good one. These teams have actually met earlier this year. I don't know if we've got into that. I was kind of working on starting lineups here, but they have met earlier this year, and Tennessee Wesleyan did take it. So I don't know if history's going to repeat itself. Hope International's been playing really good. You kind of hit on it. I haven't got to watch as much baseball as I would have liked to this week, but duty calls, got to pay the bills somehow. Yeah, I'm ready to roll. It's going to be a good night. I'm just excited to get going here.
HIU has played a fantastic, tournament as well as season. Tennessee Wesleyan maybe didn't have the regular season they would have wanted, turned it on in the end, made sure they got themselves into the national tournament, and then, has turned it on and played a great tournament as well. Both of these teams have done what you need to do to win it in Lewiston, and that's play a great tournament. It doesn't always matter what your season statistics were. We saw Westmont last year, who came into this World Series hitting like 280 as a team, and came out of the World Series with some gaudy numbers throughout the entirety of the World Series. So this is an exciting one that should be a great overall game. Let's go ahead and get into the starting lineups here, leading off with Tennessee Wesleyan, who is the away team. Braxton Turner will lead off and play left field. Stevens will bat second and play right. Martinez at short. McGill at first. Webster at second. Cruz Newman in center. Stewart at catcher. Leach at third. Carson Ford is the designated hitter, and on the mound is going to be Rochard. And Taylor, this should be a really good ball game. This is exactly who we expected to pitch for Tennessee Wesleyan.
Yeah, no doubt. And Sam Rochard, we saw make the start earlier in the tournament there against Georgia Gwinnett. Georgia Gwinnett was able to pull that one out late with a big home run by AJ Sapkowski. But Rochard looked really, really good in that one. Really sequenced his fastball and changeup well, and the changeup kept the Grizzlies off balance that night. And knowing that'll be much of the same here for the right-hander. And with the lineup too, we've talked about not the real big hitter, the big time name that we've seen, but it's really been a complete 1 through 9 effort from the Bulldogs. Evan McGill in the 4 spot has had an incredible tournament, and like I said earlier, Cruz Newman has stepped up all year long. Braxton Turner we saw with a big hit earlier on. So really 1 through 9, we've had multiple guys step up, and with their number 2 on the mound and Rochard to follow up Blake Payton last night. Let's see if he can get it done again here on the big stage up in Lewiston, Idaho tonight.
Let's take a look at the Royals starting lineup for Hope International. At shortstop, it'll be David Rivera leading off, then Moreno playing third base, JJ Cruz at second, batting third, Arnone at catcher. He will be in the cleanup spot. Toigo, is it Toigo? Taylor, you might know how to, Toigo.
Yeah.
playing left field, Sims in right, Maciel at first, Lamastra, the designated hitter, Barty in center, and then Seeley on the mound, which is also who we thought HIU would throw today.
Yeah, Trey Seeley, once again, one of the better strikeout arms that we have in the NAI and in the country. Up over 120 now after his last start, which was a gem there in Lewiston. 8 innings, 3 hits, 11 strikeouts. Really, really high leverage stuff. And with that extra day of rest, the Royals line up their ace for the winner take all national title game tonight. And we've seen the lineup too, 1 through 9. We all know JJ Cruz, Moreno, and Rivera, and the trio that duo like that they possess. I mean, Cruz has had an incredible tournament out of the 4 spot. Every time we look up, he seems to be having an extra base hit or going over the wall. And with Seeley on the mound, able to back up that first good start there in Lewiston. Let's see if he can do it again against a red hot Tennessee Wesleyan lineup.
Should be a great game, man. I'm really excited for this one. Let's get here. I saw a commercial. I work in television. I saw a commercial that's not right, so I'm trying to text some people right now. Sorry. But let's get into some of the not bigger than the national championship, but some big news today. Connor, you're wearing that Southeastern hat. Southeastern head baseball coach Adrian Dinkle resigns today as the head coach from Southeastern. An absolutely huge move for this level. We don't know what his next steps are, but somebody nationally is getting a great coach.
Yeah, this is one that kind of, in my opinion, kind of just out of nowhere. You know, he's had so much success there. I think on what we put out earlier, 2 national titles to his name, 8 World Series appearances, 6 straight World Series appearances, and 640 and 137 overall. So I mean, just absolute dominant ever since he's been there, bringing home 2 national titles to the Fire. You know, it's kind of shocking. Obviously, it was breaking news, and everybody's going crazy about it. I don't know how many calls I got and how many texts I got. I'm sure your phone blew up as well, Robbie. But I mean, just some absolute massive news before the World Series and the national championship. Pretty wild to think about. So
you want to talk about a news dump?
Yeah,
that's insane. That is a news dump and a half right there. Craziness. You know, Adrian and I have been friends for a long time, and he's a great person. One of my favorite people. Coach that is a huge friend of the brand and somebody that we really appreciate him. And so we are excited to see what his next steps would be and where he might land. And I'm hoping that it is in this division, because losing him from this division would be a major would really be a major loss. So just something we'll have to focus on. We've got 2 great coaches in this one. And guys, I really don't like to talk about season awards before the season ends. But I mean, you got to say, and I know it's kind of cliche to say, oh, whoever wins the national championship is the coach of the year. But as far as our awards go for our national coach of the year, the NAI ball coach of the year, you have to think both Larry Mahoney and Billy Berry, the winner of this game, is going to be the favorite for that, just because of the incredible job that they've done this season, as we are just about 7 minutes away from first pitch. Broadcast on ESPN3 should be starting in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, and I love that take there with Billy Berry. You know, we talked about it all year long and really every week on the podcast. Not the start that you would expect from the blue blood program that is Tennessee Wesleyan. I read an article today. Actually, they were at one point in the season they were 9-9 on the year after taking that series sweep to the very same Reinhardt team that they beat last night for the second night in a row. And sitting there at 500 earlier on, that's not something we really expect from a program like Tennessee Wesleyan, despite obviously the tough non-conference schedule that they consistently play year in and year out. And they've turned it around in a big way, especially here in the postseason. I mentioned it, dropping that the second game to Georgia Gwinnett, and then rolling through here now. And same goes to Hope International as well, and Larry Mahoney. Winning 4 straight elimination games in any setting is hard, and he's been able to do that on the big stage in Lewiston. So all the makings here for what should be an instant classic. I know Connor said it last night. It's going to be hard to top, but with the lineups in and the starters that we had projected, I think this one's in the makings for yet another classic, which we've seen all World Series long. It's been quite a treat to watch.
It's been exciting to watch. It's been really fun. It's going to continue to be a really fun game. I think this has the makings of a great game. You know, the reason yesterday was so exciting is because we had an ace off. We had the two best pitchers for each team throwing. Really, if you're HIU, you have to be thrilled that you were the only team without a bye, got you automatically into the national championship game. Second year in a row that we have seen three teams come into the last 2 days, and we've had a team get an automatic move to the national title. Last year, that team was Lewis Clark State, coincidentally. They did not make the tournament this year. And this year, the recipient of that was HIU. So they got the day off yesterday, well rested. They've got, you know, two really solid pitchers on their staff that have been lights out, and they get to throw one of them today. These teams are eerily similar as far as batting average goes, you know, as far as slugging percentage goes in runs. But HIU has scored more runs than Tennessee Wesleyan this season. If you're joining us and you're waiting on the broadcast has started on ESPN3. We will take you through at least the first couple innings. We'll see what the vibe is like in here. You know, we've got the chat up. So by all means, please feel free to talk to us during this game and, you know, talk about this game with us and everything like that. You know, we're 100% interested in what y'all have to say, as long as you keep it respectful. You know,
monitoring that chat pretty closely because you guys got out of hand last time. But
last time we went live, it did get a little out of hand with you know, people's opinions on one school or another. So you know, we're watching this. We're gonna be here with y'all, and we will go through this as the entire game goes on. So we are looking forward to the rest of this game. Tennessee Wesleyan, HIU. First pitch is about 3 minutes away, as we'll have the stats up and we'll have all of that. Tyler gets no say in anything because he is not here, but we do have his pick, and anything he puts in the chat does not count, and we will ignore. So, guys, do we want to make a selection? Do we want to make picks? I will just go out there and say Tyler did take Tennessee Wesleyan. He's on the road right now, so safe travels to them. Connor, do you want to make a pick? Whoever you pick is kind of doomed to lose.
You know, I will go ahead and make my pick. And, you know, hats off to these guys for making the championship. They both had great years. I don't have a favorite, but if I had to pick one, I'm going to go Tennessee Wesleyan. I think Tennessee Wesleyan has been playing some really good ball lately. They definitely proved that they deserve to be here. You know, have taken down some really good teams. They beat Reinhardt twice. You know, this is a good Tennessee Wesleyan team. Like we said earlier, we kind of didn't have them making Lewiston halfway through the year, and I probably wouldn't even say till later in the year. But no, I'm riding with Tennessee Wesleyan. Give me the Dogs. If I happen to go over on my pick today, I am sorry. I just need to start looking at different lines to start making bets on. But, you know, I'm going to take the Bulldogs in this one, so I might be shipping some posters out to Tennessee Wesleyan.
Yeah, so congrats to Hope International on winning the national title there, as Connor's picks have not gone well. Really quickly want to address a question in the chat. Trey asked if we're going to stream the game. Legally, we cannot stream the game. You know, we cannot have any video of the game. It could get our channel deleted. It is not something we can do. What we are planning to do here is just like a Spaces. We'll tell you about what's going on. You can turn the game on and watch along with us. That's what this entire watch along is for. But legally, we cannot show anything ESPN, SWX. It's not something we could do. I know many people have told me we could have audio. We won't even push it that far. So, it's one of those things to, that we cannot have any type of video on there. Taylor, what you got for us?
I love the Tennessee Wesleyan pick there. I agree with you, Connor. They've been playing some really inspired baseball these last couple of days, and we've seen that they just continue to pick up the timely hit and just make the right play and just escape some big jams too out of the bullpen there. Especially we saw that last night at the heart of the Reinhardt order a few times. They've just continued to live to fight another day. But with that being said, I'm going to go with Hope International.
Look how jacked Billy Berry is.
I think that the Royals are going to get this done. I think of course, the off day serves them well. They've won 4 straight elimination games too, so they've got that magic about them too. And with Trey Seeley on the mound, I loved what he did last time out, and I think he's going to continue that. And this lineup too, led of course by JJ Cruz. We've talked about it, that trio there with Rivera and Moreno along with Cruz have really been deadly all year, and I think they continue that tonight, especially in Lewiston. And I think the Royals become the second straight GSAC team to take home the national championship.
We are about to get underway. I'll probably, the pitching edge goes to HIU. I'm probably going to stick with Tennessee Wesleyan, who was my sleeper in this tournament. But this is going to be exciting, and we are just underway. The first pitch happening at 8:36 p.m. Central Time, and it is a strike from Seeley. So this should be an exciting ball game. Braxton Turner leading it off for Tennessee Wesleyan, and Seeley looks like he's firing it in there, Connor.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a good one. Like you said, I think HIU does have the advantage with pitching, but I think just that momentum's going to be carrying them today, and I think Tennessee Wesleyan's gonna pull it out. But yeah, I'm curious to see how these first few innings. Do you think the first team that scores is going to end up winning? What's your thoughts on that?
No, I think we're in.
Or you think we're in for a back and forth? Or
I think we're going to see a low scoring like this. This has the makings as that's going to be a single. We got a leadoff single from Turner here. I think this has got the makings of like a 7-6, 7-5 ball game for some reason. And I definitely think that, Tennessee Wesleyan getting that leadoff single there could help, if they can get some momentum, and depends on what they're going to do as the broadcast is showing the HIU batting order. Well, there we go. Well, Tennessee Wesleyan is batting.
Hey, we got to stay on brand. Like, we got to stay on brand.
We have to, right? I mean, yeah. That's it. End of comment from me there. I won't say anything else. Not that they had the wrong winning team last night in one of the interviews in a tweet.
Oh, man, that was brutal.
That was bad. That's tough. That's tough to do. And now we're going to have 2 on and nobody out after Stevens gets hit by pitch. So, again, this game is on ESPN3. You're more than welcome to join us in watching this. We're going to be commenting on the game, giving a little back and forth. We will definitely be here for the first couple of innings. And if y'all are active with us, if the vibe's good, if we don't get down like me, Connor, Taylor, Troy, I know Troy will be in here, and like Layla watching on her iPad, then we'll keep this rolling throughout. But we cannot show video, we cannot stream the game. But you're more than welcome to watch this game along with us as we go here. Seeley putting himself in a little bit of a jam there, hitting Stevens, putting a runner in scoring position. Taylor, probably not the start you want to have.
Yeah, no, Seeley looks to be a little too fired up. You kind of expect that, especially with the winner take all situation here tonight. You gotta settle in on here, especially on the mound, and with this potent lineup that we see with Tennessee Wesleyan. As we all know, if you've been to this stage before, one run can feel like 5, especially early on here with the 2 free passes. So big for Seeley to see if he can settle in here and escape this jam, and then ultimately send up the potent lineup of Hope International.
So he does look more composed in this at bat to Martinez. So that's definitely a good sign straight away getting the 2 strikes, the called, and then the foul ball there. So obviously a good sign there. Oh, what a play.
I just saw the play. I was about to say, goodness.
What a play by Rivera, jumping up and grabbing that line drive, man. That's big time.
Yeah, big time play there from Rivera. As my stream was messing up, I had to go off camera for a little bit, but just saw the replay there too. Big time play there from the shortstop to secure an out for his pitcher that is trying to compose himself here on the mound early on in the first with a big time moment as we get this ball game started.
That's absolutely huge play from Rivera, and you expect that from a player of his quality and caliber, a guy who's been fantastic throughout the entire World Series, has had some major moments, and that's 100% what you expect from Rivera there. What a play at shortstop. So just absolutely, absolutely massive to get the first out. Still the top of the first, 0-0 is the score, HIU and Tennessee Wesleyan. Again, this is the first time we've ever done one of these watch-alongs, so you're more than welcome, guys, to jump in, give any thoughts that y'all might have. If you got a comment on the game, if you got a comment on that incredible play by Rivera, I mean, that was just absolutely beautiful web gem of a play there to not let that ball get into left field. He basically saved a run.
Yeah, and speaking of runs there, looks like we're going to have a throwaway. So first run on the board now for Tennessee Wesleyan. It looks like as McGill drops down a bit of a swinging bunt, and Braxton Turner, after the leadoff, reaching to lead off the game, comes around to score on the throwing error. So already 1-0 Bulldogs here in the national championship.
Wow, yeah, I got to see that right now. It's going to put runners on the corners. They are going to charge an error there to Seeley. So an E1 on the throw, and is he hurt? Yeah, he took a line drive back at him off the lower leg.
Yeah.
I'm just now
So
seeing.
Yeah, looks like
the trainer's going to come out and take a look at him. That underhanded toss. Oh, the first baseman's on the other side of the bag. That's why.
Yeah, they're giving him a few warm-up pitches, it looks like now after that ball was smoked. Once again, Evan McGill, we've talked about it. McGill has been seeing the ball extremely well and lined that right off of Seeley. Let's see if if he can't stay in the game, that is big for the rest of this ball game as we sit with one down here and runners on second and third.
I don't believe there, Troy, to be runner interference on that play. Looks like McGill was able to move and stay within 3 feet there to allow Seeley access to the ball and to make the play. What seemed to be the issue there was not that the ball hit off of McGill or anything, but the first baseman was standing in foul territory and the throw went into fair territory, and it was just an underhanded throw that did not hit the target. Just totally missed the first baseman. It would have had to throw around him as well. Would have been extremely tough to get there.
Yeah, no doubt, a real close play, and already some fireworks now with that shot off of the bat of McGill as it sends up Cale Webster, who had a big night last night. The 4, 5, and 6 really delivered. And speaking of Webster, as we say that, Webster's going to send a fly ball out to right for a sacrifice. So 2 down now and 2-0 as Jack Stevens comes around to score. So that's going to be another unearned run already in the first inning.
I don't know who's doing stats, but they've got it all wrong. So apparently in stats, they've got McGill at third base and he's at first. But it is at least they've got the score right. It is 2-0 in favor of Tennessee Wesleyan here in the top of the first. Seeley getting hit by that line drive. We'll see if it affects him later in the game, if it starts to swell up, bruise over, anything like that, if it's hard for him to land or walk or I couldn't tell which leg it was. But that's definitely something that we'll have to watch in that play. But Stewart now the batter here. So a big opportunity, Tennessee Wesleyan getting both runs in that reached in the top half, one via the single and the other via a hit by pitch. And now McGill standing at first base with 2 outs.
Robbie, I have a question for you. You know, it's 2-0. He's taking the ball back to his leg. You know, how far do you kind of let this get before you start thinking about maybe going to the bullpen? I know that's pretty early to start thinking about that, but at what point do you think it gets to that?
And Stewart just missed that one.
Yep.
He flew out to the track there. Seeley able to get out of the inning. In a national championship game like this, it's kind of tough because you have to know your pitcher. You have to know how much he's capable of. You have to know what he can work through, how that leg is might swell up possibly. And then on top of that, it's one of these things where you also cannot allow him to have too long of a leash. If he comes out and the bases are loaded with nobody out next inning, you got to get that bullpen hot. You cannot allow them to take a 5-6-0 lead. There is no tomorrow for either of these teams, and that's going to be on both coaches' minds. Both of these coaches are great coaches, and that's going to be on both of their minds. That it's going to be, they cannot allow these teams, especially these offenses that are very potent offenses and have been good offenses here in Lewiston, in a hitter's ballpark like Lewiston. You cannot allow them to just absolutely continue to have runners on base without a change. I mean, you throw everybody and their mother, you grab a kid from the stands if you have to in a game like this and start getting him hot. If he can get outs and throw strikes, you do whatever it takes. I mean, it's all hands on deck in this one.
Yeah, no question about that. I mean, you're playing for a national title here tonight, and you can rest tomorrow and for the rest of the summer. We've seen that with the coaches emptying the tank on certain arms here throughout the tournament, and with the 1-game winner take all. And once again, that off day for the Hope International bullpen sets up very well despite this early deficit now as we sit 2-0, and with Rivera up to bat and the top of the lineup here for the Royals, who have swung it well all tournament long. Let's see if they can scratch back at this early deficit as we sit 2-0 now.
We had a couple of JJ Cruz is the best hitter in the league comments. You know, it has been absolutely fantastic to watch him just hit. Him and David Rivera go back and forth. I feel like they've homered together in a lot of games. David Rivera leading off is a guy that can leave the yard easily. Tyler, I know we said we were going to ignore his stuff here, but let's really quickly. Richard has thrown 6 1/3 innings. He's allowed 3 earned runs, struck out 9, and walked 3 in one start where he had a no decision in that game. What is y'all's favorite game of the series, or favorite game or series of the year? If you had to, just in recent memory, I mean, does it go to last night? Last night was pretty incredible.
Taylor,
Yeah,
start on
I'd
that one.
say I was just about to say last night, recency bias or not, last night's one of the best baseball games I've seen in quite some time, especially here at the NAI level. Me and Connor talked about that today, as well as you, Robbie. Southeastern and Lewis and Clark, or excuse me, Southeastern Tennessee Wesleyan in 2022 comes to mind. Of course, those Southeastern Lewis and Clark State National Championship Series games of that same exact year too. And going back to 2019 to USAO Connor against Tennessee Wesleyan there in that game too as well. So just some of those that come to mind. We've had a lot of good ones here this year in Lewiston, and last night especially. That's going to go down as one of the best ones that I'd say has been played at Harris Field in quite some time.
Leach sneaks, or Rivera sneaks one by Leach there on a hard hit ground ball right by him. And so now both teams have led off the game with a single. HIU with a single, Tennessee Wesleyan with a single, HIU with a runner on, and nobody out in Rivera with JJ Cruz lurking.
I think your stream's ahead of mine. Maybe just a little
It's
bit.
just this great internet I pay for.
Oh man.
Yeah, and Robbie, that's what we talked about there. If you guys out there read our preview in Baseball America as well, with Rivera, Moreno, and Cruz combining for over 60 doubles, over half of the Royals doubles on the season. This is definitely the big reason as to why they're hitting 1, 2, 3 in the lineup, and then going down to the 5 and 6 hole. Derek Sims and Dean Toigo, two guys who have gone deep already here in the tournament. So a big time situation early on for both of these offenses.
Richard looks like he may be a little amped up as well, missing on a close pitch there, and it is going to be interesting because this is such a great offense from HIU. We knew they could hit. It would be, in the postseason, it would come down to can they get guys out, and they've done that pretty successfully for the most part. As that one is going to go ahead and be a single as well. So now the first two players have singled to left field in this game. And we've got 2 on and nobody out. And here comes JJ Cruz.
Yeah, once again, another big moment here as the left-hander steps up into the box. The shortstop, JJ Cruz, who has hit 4 home runs already in Lewiston, and with nobody out in your 3-hole up, this is the exact spot you want to be if you're the Royals.
Troy asked a good question. Are way too early 2025 Lewiston. The hard thing about that, Troy, is there's so much turnover as well. One of the things that's actually going to make the league a little bit deeper is it's going to be, you've got some Division I guys across all levels, Power 5, mid majors, low majors, that are JUCO bounce back, or that are JUCO guys that have an extra year waiver. And because the draft is only 20 rounds now, they're looking to get that extra year of college in and get that graduate degree paid for. And so we are going to see a lot of guys. We've already seen several Power 5 guys say that they're looking to go NAI, D2, D3. And that is going to help make this league really, really interesting. So one thing is we don't know recruiting, is there. And then on top of that, it's like Southeastern. We usually would say Southeastern, but we don't know what that's going to look like anymore. So I guess we'll just go with our favorite team. So Connor, you want to go ahead and take Columbia?
I'll take Columbia, USAO. Oh God, what other 8 teams do I want to put in there?
I guess Taylor will take Southwest Christian.
Nah.
Oh man, you not taking the boys in Bethany?
I might. They're coming off of a big year with winning the NCCA championship, and we've seen historically teams that do that make that jump and make that push towards the NAI opening round, and saw that with Mackey. So who knows? But like Robbie mentioned, with Coach Dinkle gone now at Southeastern, it's kind of wide open to think about when they were the wire-to-wire #1 team
Taylor,
this
I hate
year.
to interrupt, but JJ Cruz launches this one to right, and Hope International now has the lead 3-2. Robbie, he smoked that one.
That ball was launched.
JJ Cruz just hit a friggin' nuke. I mean, that ball was absolutely just tatered. I mean, he got a hanger and he banged that. That's on top of that tennis facility or hitting facility, whatever it is out there.
I hope nobody's playing tennis out there because they just disturbed the entire match because that one was destroyed.
That went through the roof. Let me tell you, this guy is making a bid, is going to make a bid just with his final numbers for, I mean, I don't know if we'll see him we could, when we look at everything at the end of the year, we let the year end before we step back and look at full numbers. We could see him in the Lou Brock Award conversation, but he is definitely going to be a all NAI ball team player. I mean, he has kind of sealed that deal. When we talk about all NAI ball, we are constantly talking about competition played. And JJ Cruz has come out in the World Series and been on freaking fire throughout the entire thing. He is
we have another one
monster. Yeah, Jared, I couldn't remember what was out there, man. It's been like 11 years since I've been in Lewiston.
Well, there's batting cages out in right center, but past that is the tennis courts because I saw Charlie Updegrave park about 3 on them last year whenever I was out there for the regional. And we got another bomb.
Back to back now for the Royals. Alec Arnone to left center field, 4-2. Wow, already.
Taylor,
nobody out.
Nobody out.
International.
Taylor, do you got the tweets or you want me to take care of it?
Go ahead.
Gotcha. I totally forgot that was kind of part of the job here with
Kind of part of the deal there.
Oops. All right, I got us.
Troy wants an outlook for Dort. Troy, just for you, I'm going to say they'll be really good. The defenders.
Oh man.
Fun fact: my alma mater won their first ever football game against Dort, or was that U Pike? It might have been U Pike. I take that back, Troy. It was U Pike. The Roll Seahawks.
So already now, 4 straight hits for Hope International, back-to-back home runs for JJ Cruz, 5 bombs now for Cruz in the tournament. If we remember last year, Isaiah Thomas for Lewis and Clark State took home tournament MVP and in a losing effort. I believe he hit what was it, 6 home runs in that World Series last year for Isaiah Thomas.
I mean, yeah, and we could see JJ Cruz. JJ Cruz is making a huge bid for World Series MVP. No matter the outcome of this game, he's making a huge bid for that. Remember when I said that I thought the score was going to be like 7-6? At this point right now, it is trending to be a lot more than that.
Yeah, and then back-to-back groundouts now for Sam Richard has seemed to settle in a bit, but what a start already. We talked about a 2-0 advantage for the Bulldogs early on, and then 4 straight batters come to the plate and 4 runs with nobody out for the Royals. This offense just continues to look the part of one of the best in the country, and especially in the extra base hit category. That's something that I wrote about too. With one swing, they're able to put themselves in scoring position, being at the top of the leaderboards for doubles on the year. And we talked about it. Rivera, Moreno, and Cruz already making their presence felt early on.
Absolute madness in this first inning. If you're just joining us, Hope International scores 4 to take a 4-2 lead on back-to-back home runs from JJ Cruz and Arnone. Shock, really. I mean, Richard has to be shocked on the mound there. He couldn't get any outs before the 2 ground outs. He settled back in after the 2 home runs very nicely, but Tennessee Wesleyan's 2-0 lead in the first inning is erased immediately.
Yeah, and big for Trey Seeley too to get your right-handed ace settled in after a pretty shaky start there for really both arms. And Seeley now with the 2-run cushion going back out there, you have to like that for his composure on the mound as he enters the second inning of work here. And whoever gets a shutdown here now with both teams taking a big swing early on is set up to grab the early momentum.
So 2 outs here in the first inning. Richard trying to work himself back. This is not the first inning we thought we were going to have.
Yeah, no doubt. Kind of thought we were going to get a bit of a pitcher's duel, and like we said early on, both arms a little bit rattled with the nerves and the big stage of Harris Field, and we just saw it now with back-to-back swings by the Royals there, taking an early advantage of Richard. Just saw a great video too from Taryn on the JJ Cruz home run. It was an absolute shot, like we said, and our early advantage goes to the Royals. And like we said, Cruz just making his impact felt early on in the 3 spot.
I mean, at this point, I can't think of anybody else right now that's in line for a World Series MVP outside of JJ Cruz. Maybe David Rivera, who seems to match him on home runs in this World Series, but JJ Cruz, I mean, has to be the favorite right now for World Series MVP. Connor, I'd ask you to put a line on it, but we all know that you would just blow that one.
Come back to me and I'll have you something interesting. I'll have a line for you.
There we go. So first inning finally over after about almost just over 20 minutes, and crazy. I was not expecting that. JJ Cruz with the absolute freaking moonshot. And my old man keeps texting me, giving me updates on the regional champion high school baseball games today. Taylor, we don't have anything to worry about because neither of our favorite college Division I schools play today in softball. And I did see Oklahoma was beating ORU. So, former Rio Grande Valley resident Skip Johnson getting some action there. And then,
fun fact, I was actually supposed to be shooting photos at that regional for UConn.
oh, really?
Yeah, I got approved for media credentials for that, but decided I was too tired because of travel yesterday.
Well, thanks, Connor, for staying with us here. We're sorry you didn't get to cover the big Division I event because of the NAI Baseball World Series going on. Sorry.
It's all right. I'm happy to be here.
Oh yeah, we're real thrilled now that you're here. After we learned we were second fiddle there.
Plus, shooting for UConn. Come on, man.
I mean, it's not like George Springer's at UConn right now. So I mean,
sorry, UConn, if you see this, don't email me with hateful comments.
if you're a UConn fan and watching this, you're in the wrong friggin' place.
Yeah. Oh man.
So the top of the second is getting going here, guys. Sealy has looked not like he did in the first game. He's going to try to settle in here in this second inning. I mean, again, it goes back to both of these coaches. How long of a leash do you allow? I mean, if you're Billy Berry, the wheels are already turning in that dugout for Tennessee Wesleyan about how long do you allow Richard to go. But the fact that he was able to come back out and get 3 outs, it was a beautiful play, by the way, by Martinez at shortstop to get the third out of the inning. Absolutely. Both shortstops in this game already have made incredible plays to get their teams in out. So it's going to definitely be interesting. And now we've got a full count here, looking at the video and not at the stats, which have already told us what happens.
Yeah, and looking at the video now, another big swing in this game already as Daniel Stewart's going to lead off the top of the second with a double, just jumping on that pitch from Sealy, kind of center cut, and he drives it to the opposite field. And
oh man, is Barty hurt?
I was just about to say, looks like Barty's a little bit slow to get up in center field as we take a look at that ball hit by Stewart. Another shot as both pitchers are really shaky early on and really leaving everything over the plate. They're going to check on Barty. I think he's good and going to stay in the game, but a shot there by Stewart and with nobody out and the tying run already back at the plate and Dylan Leach. This is going to be another big moment here. And we talked about the short leashes there on both sides with the slow starts for both pitchers. If it's going to come down to whoever can come in this ball game, especially out of the bullpen as it seems, and give their team a shutdown inning. That's going to flip the momentum right on its head and then back in the favor of whoever that team may be.
So I don't know if you guys know, if you hit it in that little circle, that Z96 rock, that's not a plug for them, but there's like a little hit it here thing. Somebody hits it in there. There's some kind of cash prize. I was listening on KOZE the other day. There's some kind of ridiculous cash prize for if you hit a home run in there. Only one player has been kind of close. They hit it just below that earlier in the tournament. I want to say it was day 2 or 3 of the tournament, but there's some kind of cash prize for one of the fans at the game if you hit it through that hole there for the World Series. Something crazy like $25,000. That's going to be a single through the right side. Do they send him? No. No, they are going to hold. So first and third, nobody out for Tennessee Wesleyan down 2. And after Leach singles. So now the bottom of the order, here comes Carson Ford, and he had 2 big doubles yesterday.
Yeah, and Carson Ford, go ahead, Connor.
Just hearing that name, Carson Ford, God, Robbie, how long do you think Carson Ford has been at Tennessee Wesleyan?
Carson Ford's on the 10-year plan.
I was going to say, I need his eligibility that he has because I would love to play another year, but he's been known for doing damage. I mean, ever since he's been at Tennessee Wesleyan, which seems like a decade now, but I don't know. We'll see.
No, he's been there like 10 years. Carson Ford's been in college longer than I was in college, and I didn't get a COVID waiver.
Oh man, I I was gonna say that's one of the names that I still remember from when I was with my first year with you guys. It's like, good God, there's only
Hmm.
like a handful of those players left.
Freshman of the year.
Is that what it was?
Yep.
Wow,
Carson Ford was freshman of the year.
that's right. That was what, the 21 year, I believe.
That was actually 1984.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's how long Carson Ford's been at Tennessee Wesleyan. Troy's all over it. Yeah, $25,000. You hit it in that hole, but you have to register
Yeah.
at the game. And I'm not allowed in Lewiston anymore. And that's one of those things. So I'm not eligible to win that $25,000, but y'all are.
Hey, I might have to
Hey,
put my name in
sign me.
that.
I was gonna say we need all the money we can get here. That's for sure.
Buy me an Airbnb to go cover the World Series.
What are you talking about, Taylor? We are just rolling in the dough. We make so much money doing this. This isn't for free. What are you talking about? We don't do all
You're
of
right.
this out of the kindness of our heart.
You are right. You are right. That's why we've been slacking on highlights this year, Robbie.
Yeah, we haven't we've made tens of dollars this season.
Hey, it's an upgrade, man.
ABCA expenses,
Year
hotel
one, I'll take it.
expenses.
You know, we honestly
Taking y'all to
did make a lot of money off of our YouTube video with Elvin, so we are in the green right now.
Sponsorships galore.
Big strikeout there of Carson Ford for Trey Seeley. That's gonna be the first out of the inning. Yeah, sponsorships galore. Big shout out though to Play in Sports, who's been our sponsor all season long of all of our Player of the Week, Player of the Week graphics and awards, as well as all of our postseason coverage. Play in Sports and the job that Brock does and those guys. Just a huge credit to them in believing in the brand, and they are a big believer in the brand. So if you're a guy that if you're a coach and you're in here, man, Playing Sports, check them out for your camps. They are a huge help in that. David is asking any word on where Dinkle is landing. We don't know. I mean, we might know, but we don't know.
Not deny or confirm anything.
We cannot deny or confirm anything, unfortunately. That ball's going to be at the dirt. Runner's going to get down to second base without a throw. So now two in scoring position with one out, top of the order. Turner has already singled today off of Seeley. So this becomes a huge at bat. But David, I honestly don't know. The guy and I, a great friend of mine, we're extremely close. He's a great friend of the brand. He's extremely close to the brand as a lot of these coaches in the World Series are. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens and where he goes. If I knew and I was allowed to tell you, because I don't know, I would definitely tell you if I was allowed to tell you. But the Houston Astros might have an opening here soon, and we can replace Joe Espada. I don't know if the Astros will hire another NAI guy. Now that I think about it, Espada from Mobile. That's gonna be a pop out to the first baseman. Two outs here. Trey Seeley allowed the first two guys on, and has gotten two straight outs here. So a strikeout and a foul out with first baseman. Big opportunity here.
Yeah, with Jack Stevens coming up to the dish in the two spot, the top of the order seems to have taken a lot better swings in these past couple days here, again, especially against an arm like Seeley. And with Marcos Martinez lurking in the 3-hole, a guy who's hit a grand slam against this Hope International team early on in that matchup there at the East-West, to kind of put that game away in that 15-8 victory for the Bulldogs. Lurking on deck now, if big time moment here for Jack Stevens if he can deliver with the two guys in scoring position to potentially tie this ball game up and give us some more madness early on, as it looks like this could be a very big moment in the ball game with the middle of the order.
It will be. We're gonna watch it all together. Keegan, we'll give you a score update here in about 12 seconds, maybe 15. As we're all going to watch this one go out to deep center field. That ball is gone into that tree behind center field. And just like that, 5-4, Tennessee Wesleyan has taken the lead right back. I did not have high scoring contest in this one, but that's the way it's looking early on, as Seeley is able to get 2 outs and then a home run from Stevens. Wow. 5-4 Tennessee Wesleyan right back out in front. Connor, there's no way we could get a score bug, is there?
That's a great question. Let me work on that after this tweet. That's a great
Okay, yeah,
idea.
I'm sorry. You're pulling triple duty here. You're you're our moderator as well as doing all this. And then a single, a leadoff, or excuse me, a first pitch single for Martinez up the middle, a runner on first base with 2 outs here. Man, this has been not what I expected. Seeley shoved in his first game. He's thrown really well in this tournament, in the game that we've seen him. And this is a little bit shocking to me because I definitely felt like the edge. And again, this is going to be a back and forth game, but I definitely felt like the major edge in pitching to Hope International.
Yeah, no doubt about it, especially with that day of rest for the entire staff and being rewarded for winning their fourth straight elimination game to get to this point. And with both Seeley and Rochard, it looks like now too, especially Seeley, getting those 2 outs and that pass ball advancing Dylan Leeds to second base, and the big swing by Jack Stevens driving that ball out to right center field on a line. We've seen a lot of hard hit baseballs on both sides from both of these offenses. And you would, like you said, well, you would have thought that with a guy like Seeley set up with full rest on the mound, that he'd be able to potentially go deep in this ball game. And a little bit of nerves for both of these starting pitchers, as the third out of that inning was a little bit harder to grab than the first two, as Tennessee Wesleyan answers right back and takes a 5-4 lead.
Keegan, I'm actually really glad if you're in here that you made that comment, because it allows us to work on maybe the potential of a score bug. Connor, I think it could just be like the TWHIU, T2, B2, and then the score.
I might be able to pull it right off of the live. Give me 1 second. No, that's not it. Give me a second. We'll figure this out.
All right, we'll figure this out. But thoughts, predictions, put them in the chat. If you got thoughts and predictions on the rest of this ball game, would love to hear them. I did not see this one after 9 outs of play being 5-4 in this game. Connor, everybody can see the mirror there.
Mirror.
Yeah, I was mirroring there, whatever you were doing in the deep web.
Oh yeah, I'm working on it. It's a little bit delayed.
In the deep web.
Yeah. Bear with me for about 5 minutes. I'm making this work. We're gonna make this work.
But yeah, Robbie, fireworks to start. Something I definitely did not expect is a high-scoring ball game as well. And both of these offenses looking the part. We kind of saw that last night with Tennessee Wesleyan getting the big hit, and man, they already have 6 hits already in this game, 11 combined for both of these two teams. As we're only sitting in the bottom of the second, so could be potential for some more fireworks out in the Pacific Northwest tonight in this national title game.
Yeah, I mean, this game is not going to end 5-4. I can tell you that. La Mostra is going to get us moving here in a little bit. So it's definitely not going to end 5-4 in any way, shape, or form here. So he's actually, it should be this pitch right here, actually, and there it is. Man, that took a nasty hop. There's been some really, and I know that the grounds crew, all volunteers. I'm not hating, not picking on anyone. There have been some ugly hops.
Yeah, no doubt about it. we saw that last night in that Reinhardt Tennessee Wesleyan game with McGill getting that hustle double to start off. I believe it was the ninth inning, taking a nasty hop over the second baseman's head, profit for Reinhardt, and taking the extra base. And we see that yet again tonight as Barty steps up to the plate and here as the 9-hole hitter.
Definitely good to see him hitting here after running into the wall there in center field and on a double. So definitely glad to see that. Richard working on a short leash, already given up 4 runs in the bottom half of the first here. He's going to need some help, and we'll see if he can get that, or help himself here and allow the defense behind him to work.
Yeah, and a big potential for a shutdown inning here. As Barty is gonna get a ground ball at the shortstop for the 6-4-3 double play. A big time stretch over there by Evan McGill. McGill on both sides of the ball has had an incredible tournament for Tennessee Wesleyan. Had a big time scoop there at first base on a double play last night late in that game, and really on both sides of the ball. He's been one of their best players, if not the best player for this Tennessee Wesleyan team here at the World Series.
McGill's got that Johnny Damon Red Sox look going, man. He's looking hardcore Johnny Damon Red Sox look. Did we have a challenge here, or
that
Larry Mahoney
I don't
just
believe
come out and challenge that play at first base? He sure did. So we do have a challenge.
Yep.
We've got our first challenge of the national championship game. On my view, right off the bat, live, it looked out, but I'm looking forward to seeing the replay again. And we get to look more at Evan McGill, who looks just like Johnny, that mid-2000s Johnny Damon. Oh, man, they had the best view right there, and they just changed it. Okay, so we're going out at second for sure. Oh, he looks safe now.
Yeah, that's a close play. McGill with the stretch, and Barty's hustling down the line. If they overturn this call, I believe the call was out on the field, as we're going to get a slow-mo replay here, and that's close. I don't know. I think they might have to stand with whatever was called in the field here. That's a bang play at first base, and a big time momentum swing if they're able to at least get one runner on here and overturn this call.
So we're seeing what the crew is seeing as well. Yeah, that's really close. I originally watching the replay for the first time, I thought safe. But I don't know if they're going to make that ruling there, if they're going to change anything. We've only seen one play overturn, and here we go again. They're looking at it really tightly.
Yeah, it's going to take a while. That was really close.
His foot's not down yet. Ball's not in the back of the glove. Foot's down, and the ball looks to be in the back of the glove at that point. Does the tie go to the runner?
I think you got to stick with what was called here. I think this call is just going to stand. I don't think they're going to be able to overturn it really either way. So it looks like that they called it initially out. So if they do call him safe, would have to be enough to overturn this call.
Let's see.
And here they come.
Okay, so I think I got our score bug to work. It's at the very bottom of it, but it is going to be off of stats, not the stream. So it's probably going to be ahead of what we're talking about unless we want to go to stats. Either way works.
That's fine because we got stats pulled up anyway, let's be honest.
Yeah.
As it looks like they're going to say Barty reached on that ball. So one down now and a runner on first for Hope.
Yeah, they are going to call him safe. That last look, it looked like his foot was down and on the bag before that ball was in the bag of his glove. And then, as you can tell by stats, the stat scoreboard is up there now. It does have 2 on. David Rivera here is going to single, I believe, on this pitch right here. And there it is. out to center. I think that's a smart play though by Cruz Newman to not lay out for that ball. That ball gets by you and everybody's running, and David Rivera's got some wheels on him, so everybody's going. So again, it looked like Richard was going to get that big double play, man, and just not able to do it there.
Yeah, and a big time challenge by Larry Mahoney early on, not messing around and not playing games, and gets them into a better situation now for Alex Moreno and ultimately JJ Cruz lurking again in the 3 spot as the 2-hole Moreno is going to come out with 2 runners on base here, and another big time moment on the offensive side in this ball game.
Yeah, this is massive. It's really huge. A huge moment here in this game, and really what we're talking about and going over, and just for the sake of the delay. Connor, Tristan Perry doesn't like the hat.
Ducky, you can chill out, bro. He's one of our USAO players.
No,
Oh man.
I think the hat's fine.
I mean, it's fitting for the news that broke earlier, so I gotta
It
rock
is
it.
fitting for the news earlier. This one's gonna be a ground ball. It's gonna be a nice play by McGill. He'll take it himself. So there are going to be 2 outs now and 2 in scoring position for HIU. With guess who comes up to the plate? Mr. JJ Cruz.
It's a bad man. I wonder if
Mm-hmm.
do you have him going back to back here? You know, this could be back to back at bats for him. I don't know. I just saw the stream, turned on the stream for a second. That was an interesting play there at first.
Yeah, that was a little bit tighter than it needed to be. Sometimes as the pitcher, you just got to get the heck out of the way.
Yeah, you got to know your job there.
You can only take your banana route so seriously.
Oh,
Yeah, and this is who you want up for Hope International too, of course, with JJ Cruz with 2 runners on base, and early on we're getting a lot of fireworks here on and obviously in his first at bat, and 9 combined runs already in the bottom of the second now. This one is going to be really fun, and it's already been an extreme joy to cover as we've had some big time swings and a lot of hard hit baseballs tonight, and I think that's going to continue as we continue on in this ball game.
Guys, what do we want to set the over under on runs combined this game?
Well, we're at 9 right now. You want to go at 17 and a half?
I'm feeling around the 19 and a half mark. You know, I think this one's going to be a little bit high scoring. You guys good with 19 and a half? Because I'm going to take the over. Is that what we should do next year? Is come up with a full thing of odds? Say it's Lewiston odds instead of Vegas odds.
Lewiston
odds. Start our NAI ball sports book. Maybe that's just the gambler in me, but we might have to look into doing something like that.
Yeah, you might need to call a number, Connor.
Hey, man. You got to have hobbies, man.
As JJ
I like Tyler's
Cruz
idea. I like Connor. If I got somebody that could join us, could we get them in?
Yeah, we could do that. I would just need to.
You need an email?
I need their email. Who you got? Well, we won't ruin that yet. Just text me and we'll figure it out.
All right. I'm working on G. I mean, I already said it out loud.
Yeah. Tristan Perry pulled back his comment for some reason.
Wow. What a shocker.
So we're going to the top half of the third. It is 5-4. Connor, I just sent that in the group chat.
Okay. Taylor, you got the score update real quick.
I haven't even checked to see if he's available right now. I just said you want to jump on the stream with us. We should get Jordan Day back in here.
Yeah. You want me to text him?
Text him also and ask him if he wants to join us later. I mean, how many people are in here? Do we have enough for is there going to be a later? There's 18.
We got 25 on my screen.
Troy, I've not actually looked fully at the I've not fully looked at the format yet. I know it's an extra day. I know they're going to 3 games. I'm still, I want to look at a physical bracket. I haven't been able to see that yet, and that's what I want to look at overall for the World Series format next year. The interesting thing, Billy Barry's upset about something right now. He's pretty livid.
Hmm. We might have to text Taryn to figure out what's going on there in between innings.
I'll text him right now. Billy was incensed there.
Yeah, I think your stream is ahead of mine.
Am I ahead of y'all again? Because for a while there, I was behind y'all.
I'm gonna have to refresh, see what happens. Oh yeah, I was about maybe a hitter behind.
Yeah, Taryn just texted me back. And of course, Taryn from the LC Tribune, from the Lewiston Tribune, working there at the World Series, just texted me and said, we have no idea. Carson, it is going on right now the game is going on right now. You can see the score bug there at the bottom. It is 5-4 in the third inning with 1 out. So that's the game right now, the national championship. Troy, I do like, for the sake of our sleeping schedules, I do like that it is no longer a 4 games a day.
Yeah, thank God.
that is massive for us. Taylor one day I went to bed because I had just given up on life, and Taylor was up to like 3 a.m.
Hey, that's perfectly okay with me. When we're talking about baseball, especially postseason baseball at that, the late night, early morning grind is something that can be fixed by coffee, as we all know. So we've been good, and wouldn't have it any other way. Love watching baseball till the late nights or excuse me, I should say the early morning hours, starting there at the late night. It kind of all runs together, but best time of the year here, no doubt about it.
Robbie, would you want to try to get Dinkle on the air, or do we kind of want to give that a little bit of time?
No, we're gonna give him some room to breathe.
I was gonna say that might break YouTube if we did that.
Yeah, we'll give him some room to breathe. We don't want to throw all that at him right off the bat
I
there.
should have had my All Hell Dinkle shirt shipped in time.
Oh, that ball is crushed. Cruz Newman, Yahtzee, the hero from yesterday. He goes off of what Jared said is the uh, batting cage is out there. I haven't been out there, like I said, in 11 years, so I wouldn't know anymore. But that ball was just mammoed, and it is 6-4 Tennessee Wesleyan out in front now. They have scored in every inning so far in a 2-run lead over HIU.
Yeah, and
He knew it, and
Cruz,
he tossed that bat.
I was just about to say, Cruz Newman again stepping up big for the Bulldogs like he has all year long. That one was an absolute shot out to right field. We've seen a lot of good swings in this ball game, and Newman, with his 15th homer of the season, now really put a charge into that one. And as a 6-hole hitter, and last night, Robbie, we know 4, 5, and 6 were did most of the damage for the Bulldogs against Reinhardt, and doing that here again tonight with that big time swing to put Tennessee Wesleyan up 6-4 already in the third inning.
Absolutely huge in that one. Yeah, Troy, the East Coast people will like it also. Georgia Gwinnett, I'm sure they absolutely love starting all of their games after midnight. Connor, I did send a text that G is ready and should have grabbed his computer. So if you want to send off that.
I will get that sent here shortly after this tweet.
I'm going to tee up a tweet on that.
On G joining us?
Yeah.
I need to go get my Texas Wesleyan hat.
Now you need to switch to your Texas Wesleyan hat, yes.
That's a conference opponent. I don't know if I can do that one.
I didn't really think this one through because now I'm worried that G might have dirt on me.
Oh, he could hop in here and tell some Robbie stories.
He'll tell you about the time I almost got fired over a lemonade.
I love that story.
If anybody, yeah, I hate that story.
Oh man, I'm sure he's got some good ones that he could tell.
I've got some good ones on him that I can't tell.
Mm.
He used to have to come and pick us up all the time, all the poor Latino kids with no cars would take us to Chipotle. I got sick of Chipotle real quick.
Yeah, I lived on Chipotle when I was in Columbia. It was the go-to. I could get a free bowl basically every week and a half. It was great.
When I was at Kaiser with Jeremy Kennedy, I was coaching at Kaiser. We'd order Jersey Mike's because it was across the street from the school, and I would put my number in every time. I ate free Jersey Mike's for a whole year, which was
Worth it.
great because I was at my poorest. Yeah, he just
Gotta
texted
do
me.
what
He's ready.
And as we look at it now, Trey Seeley's going to respond right back, getting his third strikeout of the inning back to back on Daniel Stewart and Dylan Leach after the solo home run. So escaping that with just the solo shot, 6-4 lead now as we are going to the bottom of the third in favor of Tennessee Wesleyan.
There we go. I mean, there's the strikeout right there. 6-4 in the middle of the third. We're waiting on our first guest of the night. I know there's like 20 something people in here. We've got a lot of people in and out. I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying myself.
I think this is
We're all
fun.
having fun.
We might need to look into doing this for our NAI Ball Big Series of the Week next year.
That would be cool. At least one game of that. The problem is that there are no lights, so we'd have to do it Saturday. In 95% of places, there are no lights. To have to do it Saturday in the middle of the game.
I'm sure we could figure something out, or maybe pick a midweek, or I don't know. Maybe people could sign up and we could just pick a game of the week that we want to watch that's not tied to Big Series of the Week. There's a lot of stuff we could do. You might tell G that I sent it. I call him Bobby. I don't know why I just called him G.
I do not.
The 2024 Cajun Collision ejection of the year.
He definitely.
I want you to
definitely
say that while
deserves
he's
one.
in here.
Let me introduce him as that.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, I have to call him Coach G. That's the man who took me to college when he didn't have to. He kept me around when he didn't have to.
Oh man. They come back.
So here we are now. The bottom half, or excuse me, the bottom half of the third has officially started. We are waiting on our first guest to jump in here. I also know that at some point Jacqueline is going to walk upstairs and be like, "What the heck's going on? You're having way too much fun.
You're on the clock.
That much fun." There he is.
There's
Connor,
G.
go ahead. You said you were going to introduce him.
1 second. Let me switch it over so we can do him justice. Maybe. I don't know if I've got the overlay for that. There we go. Well, I guess we've got the name tags on that. But now joining us is Texas Wesleyan head coach and the Cajun Collision, or 2024 Cajun Collision ejection of the tournament, Bobby Garza. Coach, how's it going?
Hey, how you guys doing? It's good to see you guys. I'm trying to figure out how to get my backdrop switched to being on the ocean, being close to the sand.
The Cancun series.
Cancun series, yeah. But I'm here in Cedar Hill, Texas. I was watching the Astros, but yeah, it's time to watch some better baseball with the World Series right now.
No bueno.
No bueno, yeah, no bueno.
It's bad.
How you guys doing?
Gee, man, we're excited that you could join us. We've been here talking the whole time, and Tyler, who's the other part of our show, had this great idea that was like, you should get a guest on, and you were my first thought. And so, because we all know the other member of our group chat, our regular group chat, wouldn't join.
No.
But It's, you know, this has been a really great game. It's 6-4 in favor of Tennessee Wesleyan right now in the bottom half of the third.
Yep.
And these are two programs that maybe you don't see in the Sooner Athletic Conference on a regular basis, but these are two head coaches that you probably know on a regular basis. And, you know, Larry Mahoney and as well as, of course, Billy Berry, who's been around for a long time.
Yeah, most definitely. It's really cool, especially seeing how Tennessee Wesleyan started off the season and kind of how they just really got the ball rolling. And you know, they've been hot. They've been hot. And I know Hope International has done a phenomenal job. I mean, the last couple of years, probably the last 5 to 8 years, whatever it may be, they've done a phenomenal job. So I think we've got a great representation of NAIA baseball teams in the finals. So here's my prediction. Are you boys ready?
Yeah, fire away.
Let's hear it.
Hey,
Let's hear it.
I'm not going to say who's going to win, but the score is going to be 25-26.
I mean, we're on pace for that right now as well.
Don't be surprised if this is a football type of score.
We are well on pace for that right now. It has been insane with I wasn't expecting this to be the score. I was not expecting 10 runs, and we're not even, you know, 4 innings into the game. We're here in the bottom of the third still. I don't even have the stats pulled up right now, so I don't even know what's going on outside of that. There are 2 outs in this inning. You know, this is an exciting one. You're a guy that's been around this league for a while. We went to the World Series in 2013 there at Harris Field, and it's a special place, really cool place to play. But it's feeling more and more, like you said, the last 5 to 8 years. Hope International, constant out on the West Coast, a team that's been in there all the time, no matter what. I mean, we could be seeing in Tennessee Wesleyan. You kind of expect this from the blue blood that they are. I mean, but really, it's been this has been a World Series that's been fun to watch because it's been unpredictable. The field's been great.
Yeah, it really has been great. I thought going into this World Series, you know, it really was open to anybody. You know, obviously you've got Southeastern that had the firepower on the arms, and you've got Tennessee Wesleyan that's rolling, and you got teams that are getting in there that have consistently been in there the last couple of years, kind of like William Carey. And you know, it's just seeing these teams in here. You know, as you can tell by my backdrop now, I've got the ocean and the palm tree. Like, where I'd rather be, like where I am now on the beach or there in Lewiston, because they're both great spots. But I think we've got great representation this year of the College World Series, and it's been really neat following the teams and just kind of how the games have been going, who's been winning, the comebacks. It's been really neat. Yeah, this has been a great year for NAIA baseball at Lewiston.
Is that at your beach house in Galveston? Last time I was in Galveston, didn't quite look like that.
Yeah, sure, why not? Or you know, I could be in Hawaii, Cabo, you pick, man. But we're as a matter of fact, we're going to be heading down to Galveston in a few weeks. So the family and I, we got a beach house down there. We'll head down to Galveston, down to Crystal Beach, and spend some time, kind of get unplugged and get away from every kid in the country saying that they've entered the transfer portal, and kind of relax and enjoy family time, enjoy the summer for about a week, and then, you know, we're back to recruiting, and, you know, hopefully put together a team that will get the Texas Wesleyan Rams out in Lewiston next year.
That's really hard for me to hear. That's a sentence sends a chill up my spine. You know, but the rivalries never die, G. The rivalries never die.
Yeah. I'll tell you, you're right. The rivalries never die, and even though, you know, as players we create rivalries with our own selves, it's really neat to see the camaraderie within the coaching staff across the country. You know, there's playing golf with you know, at the coaches convention with some of the coaches that, you know, you see once, twice a year, but the friendships that we have and creating our own little rivalry amongst ourselves, friendly rivalry, it's really, really cool just to see how NAI baseball, the coaches kind of link together. We're all the same people, right? No one's making millions of dollars salaries and nothing like that. We're all in this for the kids, for the love of the game, to help, advance NAI baseball, to help provide a better opportunity for our kids through the game of baseball. So it's really cool to see the rivalries that are created through head coaches and assistant coaches throughout the country.
Yeah, that's one of the best parts. As Trey Seeley's going to go back out there and get an out on Carson Ford. He's going to get him to ground out there in a nice grabbing stab play with the glove. Gee, I mean, it is something that the coaching world at this level is extremely tight. It's extremely close knit. It's something that is very, very tight and a lot of camaraderie, like you said. That's the best part of this level, and it's one of the things. As now, this looks like it's going to be a ground out as well. So Braxton Turner, after having a leadoff single, is now 1 for 3. He grounds out to the third baseman, a nice stab there, and making the throw over. So now there are 2 away here in the top half of the fourth. It is exciting to watch. This is the national championship game. We got the score bug over at the top, 6-4 in favor of Tennessee Wesleyan here in the top half of the fourth. HIU, if you're just joining us, scored all 4 of their runs in the bottom half of the first. JJ Cruz went yard in that one, as well as Arnone, the catcher, went yard for HIU. Tennessee Wesleyan scored 2 in the top half of the first, 3 in the second, and 1 in the third. We're now in the top of the fourth, and Seeley is trying to have his first 1-2-3 inning of the game. It might even be it might even be the first 1-2-3 for the entire game of either team in this one. We got a question from we got a couple of comments. One of these is for UG. Post game at Mariano's.
Oh, Brad Neffendorf, hum baby.
It's Ryan Sturgeon with that one. Very close,
Ryan. So he must have heard that from old Neff. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Mariano's is a really great Mexican restaurant here in the Metroplex. It's actually home of the original margarita machine. That's not fake. That's the real deal. You go into Mariano's and you see the margarita machine right there when you walk in. But they've got some great fajitas there. Wow. I mean, that's the chado beans that they've got there. I mean, that's some really good eating right there at Mariano's. So yeah, Ryan. Send us some players, Ryan. What's the holdup? Send us some players.
Ryan G wants dudes. He wants guys from you.
Yeah.
And then the other question is from, and this is more of a general one from Troy. Is the event better as we're in here now? The going to the bottom half, the fourth, TWU goes down 1-2-3 on Stevens ground out from shortstop, 6-3 put out. Is the event better in Lewiston when LCSC is involved? This is the first time that they are not in the World Series since 1998. Is the event better when LCSC is involved? I will tell you, I did do some numbers on attendance. Attendance is down, but it is not dramatically down. But is there not that, and let's be totally frank here, there's that team that everybody's gunning for in the World Series. We've been a team that has played them at Lewiston. It felt like the dugout was going to collapse every time they scored, and you could hear a pin drop every time we scored. It is something that makes the World Series interesting for sure. We probably wouldn't see any empty seats if they were in there, if in playing in this national championship game like we do in this one. But the attendance has still been good. So what are we thinking on that as far as what goes on at this level? Is it better if LC gets into the World Series?
I think it just depends on what you quantify better, right? Is people in the stands considered better? I think what LC does there, they do a phenomenal job. I mean, look at the field. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's immaculate. LC's not in the game right now, and that stadium's packed. That city shuts down for all these teams that come in, and they cater to these teams. I mean, the relationships, the people that you meet because you're there in the World Series, to me, that defines good. And what LC does, they host and they put on a good World Series. Is it better if they're in it? I'm going to tell you no, because they're a tough team to beat. but define better, right? Look, listen, LC State's a great team. They're good enough to be there. They're good enough to win it, but so is all the other teams there. So I think it really depends on what you define as good, right? They're not in it this year. It seems like it's been a well-ran. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. But if good is defined by the amount of people in the seats, then yeah, it's probably gone down a little bit because the whole city's not there, rooting for them and whenever they play. But man, kudos to LC State and putting on a great World Series. And the field's beautiful. The improvements that they've made throughout the years has been beautiful. That's NAI World Series. It's NAI baseball when you talk about going up there and playing in the World Series.
It is something that it's the pinnacle of our sport. Do I wish it was easier to get to? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little hard to get to it. It's in a little bit of an awkward place.
Yeah. Look at that view that they're doing right now, the panoramic. I mean, that is so beautiful. Having a place where you can go, nice hit. Oh, yep, nice hit right there. Having a place where you can go.
Lars is ahead of all of us.
Beautiful.
I was gonna say I was watching the stats for a second. I got confused for a minute.
Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you what. Hey, you guys got me on here. We're going to talk about a lot of things. How about the pinstripes, the dark navy pinstripes uniforms for Hope? But then it says Royals across the chest. It seems a bit odd, doesn't it? Like the Kansas City Royals and the New York Yankees kind of intertwined and made a uniform.
I don't know if both of their other jerseys just got that. I love that H that they have.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, gorgeous.
So we've got a Barty single, and then David Rivera reaches on an error. That play there, the error committed by Leach, really should have ended the inning. So now that inning will continue, and lurking after Moreno is a guy that has made a huge difference in this game. And it is, he's probably in line to win World Series MVP in JJ Cruz. No matter the outcome of this game, he's probably in line to win World Series MVP, or at least he's the guy that we would select if the game ended right now. So he is lurking. This is going to be a huge at bat here to see if you can get Moreno out before getting to Cruz, because he's either going to drive in a run and make it a one-run game and have runners in scoring position for Cruz, or the bases are going to be loaded. In neither of those situations I like. I'd rather face Cruz with nobody on and nobody out, and he's the first hitter of the inning. And it is going to be a massive situation here. But gee, I mean, it really does. I get you now. With the dark pinstripes and then the Royals across. You're a guy. You're a uniform snob. You're a uniform aficionado. You're a guy.
For all you guys looking for a place out there, we've got 5 uniforms that I'm trying to find. If you need a place and you like to look fresh, we got Smash. That's what we try to do when we hit the baseball. We got some nice clothes.
You have to do the transfer portal, though.
I want to talk about that play at third baseman, right? I really like how he made the error, but his initial reaction was clapping his hands. Give me the ball. I want the ball again. There was no negative movement. I mean, kudos to him. And then gives the ball back to the pitcher, and he immediately goes 0-1 on the batter, right? Going 0-1 after an error, just filling up the zone. That allows them, Tennessee Wesleyan to be able to pitch now. They can go off speed, which they did with the changeup down and away. That's what it looked like. But I really enjoyed watching that third baseman's reaction after that error, because obviously, you got the tie and run at first base and the go ahead run at the plate, and it's game like this, it could be easy to have a negative distraction. So, man, those things right there, just that can make you or break you from a defensive standpoint.
This at bat is going long into this one. Richard is entered this at bat with about 64 pitches in the fourth inning. And Moreno continues to be a real pain here and just keep fouling everything off. And it's been really interesting to see this at bat. This is a massive at bat in this game right now.
Very simple swing. I love his swing at the plate. There it is.
And there it is like you said, that one's going to get through the right side, and then an error in right field could push across another.
Wow.
Play at the plate. Safe is the call. Safe is the call. We are tied at 6 after Stevens bobbles the ball in right field. It kicks off onto his right, and then 2 runs score there. So they score the runner from second and first, and then Moreno gets all the way to third. That is going to be scored as a single with an error. And that is massive. Now, I don't know. We're just taking a small look at the replay at there's no place to challenge there. That is going to be a big play. And then JJ Cruz, our pick for World Series MVP, no matter the outcome. And just like that, Hope International has taken a 7-6 lead in this World Series. Right back on top, Hope International with another crooked number.
I got the third.
I was just about to say Cruz again too. Just what a tournament so far now with 4 RBIs early on in the game. I believe he had 5 2 nights ago. So Cruz continuing to do damage again, and like you said, Robbie, a guy I would rather face with nobody on, and that error proved costly again as he delivers the lead again for the Royals 7-6.
Yeah, they're going to get Arnone. G, you had a comment on that play.
Yeah, I don't know his name off the top of my head, and I was watching the Astros when y'all reached out to me, so I don't have my info pulled up. But I'm kind of interested to see. You guys had my prediction at 25-26. There's going to be runs scored, right? I'm curious if there's going to be a time in the game, late in the game, where number 3 comes up to be able to redeem himself off of that bobbled play at third base. And again, I really enjoyed his reaction of just gritting the ball. It didn't work out for him, right? They wind up giving up 2 runs right there, but it looked like his reaction is, "Don't worry, give me another one. I'm going to get it." I'm curious to see if he gets another opportunity, whether it be on the field or at the plate, to be able to pick his team up and grab some runs.
So while we're in the middle of the inning here, we'll get to some comments. Lori Stogner says that they had a great experience with the LC fans this year. She can't say the same for last year, but that she was thankful for the experience either way, and that she thinks they do a great job of hosting. And I mean, we were out there like many moons ago. At this point, it is definitely something that I enjoyed being out there and having a good time. So it was something that was a lot of fun. G, we don't want to keep you all night. Are you good for another inning?
Hey, keep me as long as you want. Keep those questions coming. Yeah, I like these questions.
Yeah, so do I. It's been fun. We had originally planned to only do this for like the first couple of innings. It's not like this is it's been fun to see that there's been a consistent group in here, and it's been incredible to really just kind of check out and have some of these questions. Troy Vandermolen has been in here and given us quite a few questions as well, and man, this has just been a lot of fun. This is the first time we do anything like this, G. It's
Yeah,
been
let's
the
do
first
it.
time, the first time that we've had anything like this, and really, this is something we've wanted to do for a long time. So I'm excited to do this. I'm having a good time. Connor is continuing to pilot the helicopter
I'm
over
trying,
there.
man. I'm trying my hardest.
He's got a lot of jobs. He's moderating the chat, which does not seem to be the hardest job tonight. And that was not compared to the last time we went live on YouTube. That was
Oh yeah, that was rough.
ridiculous.
Oh, last
Yeah.
time we had a battle between the Freed Hardeman guys and oh god, I don't know who else, but it got out of hand for a bit.
Houston,
but
Victoria.
yeah, Houston, Victoria a little bit.
Old North was in there
A
somewhere.
little bit of Florida National. It's all over the place.
It looks like Connor's putting his name in for the Southeastern job now with that hat. I mean, we making a career change, Connor?
If I don't know if I fit the requirements for that, but money talks.
The money talks. I like it. I like it.
it.
Well, hey, I'll stay on as long as you guys have me. Obviously the Astros are down. What was it, 8-1, Rob? So yeah,
That's
let's
bad.
move.
It's not Ronel Blanco. I had Ronel Blanco thrown today in fantasy. It's not good for my fantasy team.
Yeah.
Martinez is going to walk here.
I'll stay on as long as you guys want me to. And if you got some other guy that's more energetic like Jeremy Kennedy, jump on and feel free.
Every day. He's going to somehow find this and pull it up and find that part.
I hope he does, man. I hope he does. You talking about two guys growing up together, Jeremy and myself, and two kids not knowing what, how to do anything in the coaching world and just trying to figure it out, and just to see the success that he's had, not only at Loyola, but, at Kaiser and even at Bethany, what he did there. Just, there's a reason why he's successful everywhere he goes.
It really is true. I'm a big proponent of that. I mean, I wouldn't wear a Texas Wesleyan hat because you gave me that hat. I think I went to see y'all in Victoria a few years ago. You gave me that hat, and I had death threats on my Snapchat when I put up the hat. But I was wearing this one earlier. I will.
There you go. There you go.
But I've got. I'll show you this during the. I am. It does not close anymore, G.
Oh God.
It doesn't close anymore, but I was wearing my jersey today, and so.
Hey, I got some dynamite insight for you, right? If there's ever, you have that ESPN commercial where it's Big Papi and I think it's Posada sitting down and Posada hands Big Papi the Yankees hat and he's like trying it on, and then the mascot for the Boston Red Sox walks by and drops his head. So I got something similar to that. Oh, look at this double play. Got him.
Big time by Seeley there.
Yeah, they got him. He's out. That is
appreciate this, Rob. I've got a Northwood University practice shirt in my drawer at Texas Wesleyan.
Really?
I do.
There we go.
I do.
There's some stuff that I had that I know I brought home with me that I can't find anymore. That I wish I could find. One of those Northwood strength shirts.
Yeah.
And things like that. I've got a BP top in the closet. Those are some of my favorite BP tops, and the good old days, 2013 Northwood. I was talking about that earlier as well, and just a huge out there for McGill to ground into that double play.
That was beautifully turned right there. That's a tough double play to turn.
In the half inning, G, we are going to go over one of our show's favorite people in the world that you just happen to know. So once we get to the half inning,
is it something that I gotta speak about this person, or
you have to speak about this person? You'll know exactly who this person is.
But we have to keep it family friendly because we are.
We'll have to keep it family friendly. Yeah, it is. But you know exactly who we're going to talk about here shortly. So Tyler, if you're watching, you'll want to stay tuned for this one as we head to the bottom half of the fifth. Hope International has taken the lead back. It is 7-6 in this game. We are going into the middle of the fifth. One of the favorite people we interviewed in this in this past ABCA was one of the greatest shortstops of all time at this level. And he just happens to go by the name of
Kurt Walker.
he just happens to go by the name of Elvin Rodriguez.
I knew where you were going with that.
Well,
Yep, Elvin Rodriguez.
We even had an interview on YouTube with Elvin Rodriguez.
Awesome.
Thoughts on Elvin? You know, he's involved now in the baseball scene there in Dallas and everything like that.
You know, Elvin's a hard worker. I remember, you know, whenever I was recruiting at Northwood, you know, Jeremy Kennedy said, we got to go find a defender. I don't care what you do, go find a defender. If he can't hit, I don't care. Go find a defender. Kind of like what just happened with that double play right there. Those two guys up the middle for Hope International flipped it and dipped it and got out of, you know, eliminated a big inning. But that was what we were looking for. And I remember going out to Arizona and seeing Elvin, and I thought this is one of the most clean, easy playing defenders that I've seen in a long time. And there's been a few throughout the years, but Elvin was very dedicated to his craft, and he was more dedicated to his craft of hitting than he was defensively.
Yeah, and that looks like it's going to be on base there. Yep. So they're going to call that a single on the stats there. Elvin was a massive part of our ABCA, you know, this past year. It was a lot of fun to have Elvin and it was
very had the ability just to say, Coach, just tell me what I need to do and I'll do it for you. And you know, all the success that Elvin had is due to Elvin. But I remember 9 o'clock in the morning, him wanting to work, and every day it was 9 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. And we went from, this is how you hold the baseball bat. This is where you stand in the box. And this is why. And we literally, if there was ever a time to reconstruct a baseball swing, we did it in the fall, and all the credit goes to him. And just to see the year that he had being first team All-American was, you know, was great seeing him do that.
It looks like Stewart just popped his mitt there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went into the dugout to get a new mitt, and he's coming back out. G, you've got some experience there in the catcher position. I mean, that's not a fun thing to do there.
No, it's ball gets by right there.
Oh,
Speaking of, right? It's, you know, it's kind of like that lucky charm that you have when you're talking with your mitt, right? You know, the mitt never goes in your bag. You're always, you carry it in your hand. You have this $200 and $300 humongous catcher's bag, and the one thing that doesn't go in it is your catcher's mitt, and it's your baby. So you protect that thing and guard it with your entire life. I don't think it's going to play a big deal in him catching behind the dish, but we'll see.
So they're going to drop that bunt down there, and now there's going to be a runner in scoring position and 1 out. So runner in scoring position and 1 out here in the bottom half of the 5th. HIU threatening once again. Richard and you know, Seeley have definitely, they've gone longer than I thought. And Connor, you posed this question, and G, this is a good question for you because you've been in this, you know, kind of do or die situation before. But as a coach, you know, how long of a leash do you give these guys, these starting pitchers? Because we're 13 runs into this game now, and you know, you might have expected some of these arms to come out already.
Yeah, you know, no one knows their team better than their pitching coach and their head coach. And I guarantee Coach Barry's talking with his assistants. But before they even, the players probably even woke up, the coaching staff probably already put together a plan and already planned this out, right? If there's a lot of runs being scored, this is the route that we're going to go. This is our plan. If there's smooth sailing, this is the plan. If it's a blowout game, if it's a close game. So I'm sure they've already got the plan, and what they're doing probably right now is just sticking to their plan. So, you know, it looks like he's still got some velocity. He's gotten the base hits that they've had from the lefties, it's not like the balls were hit hard, the double out or triple out to left field. It's just, he was a bit late and just, it was a good hit, right? The breaking ball is still moving. So, no one knows their personnel better than Coach Barry and his staff. So, it'll be interesting to see what he does, but I wouldn't surprise if they keep him going or if they go to the pin, right? I mean, they're there for a reason, right? They're there in the championship game for a reason.
Yeah, no, oh, that was a close pitch there.
Yeah.
It is massive, to see, this type of situation. Again, it all comes down to the coaching and what you see in that moment. First and third here with one out, maybe not the worst thing in the world for Tennessee Wesleyan. Lamastra is up at the plate. He struck out in the fourth and singled in the second, but was left at first base. Really, really interesting part here because you've got, again, you're at the bottom part of the order for HIU. They've been a huge help all year long and all tournament long in turning that lineup over and getting to guys like David Rivera. And so it'll be really interesting to see what happens in this situation here with one out. And sure enough, Lamastra is going to come through and single. It is just a flare in to right that just lands between the right fielder and the second baseman. 8-6 HIU in the fifth.
Keep plugging away,
big time,
guys.
big time at bat there for the Royals to add tack on another insurance.
We're inching closer and closer to the over-under, and I'm starting to look good. Whenever I said at 19.5, I'm kind of thankful I took the over because I think there's plenty more runs to be scored.
Is that what you said? Did you say 19.5? Because I wanted to go 17 at first, and I'm kind of glad that we didn't. And we do have a pitching change here to tell you about as, they are going to take out Richard, and here comes Ganaway. Ganaway threw really well. He had thrown about an inning yesterday. He looked really sharp for an inning, and then they pulled him out of the game yesterday after he started to sputter a little bit, and put some runners on base. So Ganaway into the game now. So Billy Berry turning to the relievers that he can feel like he can trust. Ganaway, the first guy out. We'll see what he does with Sargent. He threw Sargent a couple days in a row now. But, I mean, as a guy for a national championship, I guarantee you Sargent's banging on that bullpen saying he's ready to come in and go whenever they need him. So Ganaway coming into the game.
Yeah, this could have been a move that, the ground ball that got through, outfielder bobbled a bit. Was it hit hard? Was it, that's something that you try to think about whenever you're managing your team throughout a game is, are the balls being hit hard? Are they gaining their runs because of the pitching, or are they gaining because of, an error here or there, or a mental miscue? And again, I just hopped on, but I really didn't think that he did too bad for the amount of time that I've been on here, but this could be something where you just want to change up the mojo, right? Bring somebody else in and maybe that ball doesn't fall. I don't know if people really believe in mojo, but here in Texas, we believe in mojo.
D, can we give away one of the cooler facts about you?
Keep it family friendly, but sure, why not? No, I'm just kidding. Y'all know.
Well, no, you've accomplished some things that not a lot of people have accomplished, and I think Taylor will be most impressed by this. But what is something you won in high school that a lot of us never got to touch?
Well, I've been fortunate here in the great state of Texas to not win one state championship, but I was fortunate enough to win two. And the cool thing about winning those state championships is I won one in the Astrodome and one at Texas Stadium, and both of those stadiums are no longer in existence anymore, or at least the Astrodome's not in use. But it was a really cool experience. So I was very fortunate to be a part of a good group.
One of your teams actually was named one of the greatest teams in the state all time in the 100-year mark.
Yeah, they're down in that area, right? For people that don't know, in the 90s, mid 90s, 2000s, there's two teams that really dominated the state of Texas in football in 4A. And it was Texas City and Lamarck. And the crazy thing that people don't know is the cities are divided by a railroad track, and people live in Texas City but are zoned for Lamarck. So you're talking about powerhouses there. For 3 years straight, it was number one and number two in the state of Texas was Texas City and Lamarck. So, man, there's some solid football down there. We've had great teams, and Coach Rusty Dowling, who I love so much, and still keep in contact with a lot of players from down there. We just, as a matter of fact, we just had a few years ago our 20th anniversary of winning the state championship, which is really cool to attend.
That's awesome. That is really cool. So we got 2 outs here. And 2 on, and David Rivera just flew out, or excuse me, David Rivera is up to bat with 2 on. It's an 8-6 game in the bottom of the 5th. Ganaway has entered into the game. Jonathan Edmonds wondering about another Cali team taking a national title. The GSAC trying to win back-to-back national titles. Rivera's going to hit this one a long way, and he will fly out to the track to end the inning. At the end of 5, it is 8-6 in favor of Hope International. The state of California trying to win back-to-back national titles. Gee, one of the things we talk about on here a lot is, the state of NAI baseball. For an example, for a long time, we've talked about how great the GSAC is, but they did not do it on a national level since we started NAI ball. Really, I mean, I think Concordia won in 2016 or something like that. But that was really before we started NAI ball and started to bring a national attention to the sport. But we did not see a strong GSAC presence until we saw, we did Westmont winning a national title. We've seen Hope International make it to the national title. The GSAC is 100% back. The other thing we've talked about a lot is some conferences that seem to have some really good teams year in, year out, but have not done it on a national level. I talked about yesterday in the spaces, since we started NAI ball, no KCAC team has won at the World Series since we started NAI ball. So that's since 2017. The last win for the KCAC.
No, where are you going with this one?
In Lewiston.
Come on now. Speak it.
Okay. Well, the last team to get no hit in Lewiston was a KCAC team. That's for sure. I was there. But the last team to win a game in Lewiston was Sterling for in 2016. And the head coach just happened to be Adrian Dinkle. So that was the last time we saw that happen. And now Tennessee Wesleyan's going to get the inning going. Cruz Newman's going to start off with a single. Taylor, Cruz Newman has been on fire since yesterday.
Yeah, and coupled with the hot swinging bat of Evan McGill too, and those being your 4 and 6 hitters, we talked about it. That 4, 5, and 6 really delivered last night against Reinhardt to get Tennessee Wesleyan to this national championship game, and Newman had some big time moments there in Kingsport in the conference tournament too, against that very same Reinhardt team, especially, and doing it again, a leadoff single here to start the 6th. You're down 2. He's 2 for 3 on the night, leading this ball club and hits so far. And Daniel Stewart, who's put really good swings on the ball tonight as well, coming up. And looks like we got a mound visit here for Hope as Sealy is now into the 6th inning with 6 Ks, 5 earned runs, has really limited Tennessee Wesleyan these last 2 innings, throwing up back-to-back punch-outs. And a big-time moment here as they come out and talk to Sealy. And interesting to see where Hope International goes here, if they stick with Sealy or go to the bullpen. And it looks like we are going to make a trip to the bullpen for the Royals. So Sealy's day is done after 5 innings. And looks like Justin Drury, who made a start earlier in the tournament, is going to come on in relief, inheriting the runner on first base, facing the tie and run at the plate, and Daniel Stewart.
Wow, so they're going to Drury here.
I think the breaking ball is going to be a significant play on the mound for the rest of the game, right? Clearly these teams can hit the fastball. That's why they're there. It's why a lot of teams make it to the World Series is hitting the fastball. But I'd like to see the percentages moving forward of what the strike percentage will be for breaking pitches per team, and I'm wondering if it's going to correlate to whoever wins.
You know, I don't blame Seeley for them taking out Seeley there on about 83 pitches. I'm kind of surprised that they did not let him go a little bit longer into this game. You already let him, but it's coming down to the wire. Again, it goes back to how well do these coaches know these guys. I'm a little bit surprised, but being able to turn to Drury in this situation is a massive move.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. And listen, the ace in the hole for both of these teams is the middle infield, right? That's the ace in the hole. Who can be able to flip and dip, and I think it goes back to the breaking ball, right? If there's a leadoff guy on, so what? Throw the two seam down and in, throw the breaking ball, and let your middle infield work, right? That's a big reason why we were able to go to the World Series in 2013 is because we had a middle infield that could flip it and turn it. And that's why these guys are here. They've got really good defenses. So let's see if this move pays off.
Drury with 10 2/3 innings pitched, 1-0 record. This is his third appearance in the World Series, one start. He's allowed 5 earned runs and struck out 4. So he's a guy that's not going to strike out a lot of hitters. So far in the World Series, he did pitch 74 innings, only struck out 65, walked 19 on the year, had a 3.53 ERA, went 10-0 in 11 starts. This is his 20th overall appearance this season, but he is a guy that's going to pitch to bad contact here, and that's what he's looking to do against Stewart, as it was the bottom part of the order yesterday for Tennessee Wesleyan that kept the season and game alive. So it's going to be really interesting to watch.
Yeah, and I think Drury too in his last start been really the number 2 starter for the Royals. So piggybacking your 2 off of the ace, as Drury's going to come in, and something we wrote about there in our preview on Baseball America, the change in styles from Seeley to Drury, and now seeing that in the same exact game here too, as Drury's going to inherit a tough situation facing Daniel Stewart, the 7, 8, and 9 hole here with the at the tying run at the plate. Drury, a big pitch to contact guy, Seeley, a big strikeout guy. So bringing more of a finesse arm in, let's see if that'll play out well for the Royals as we sit in yet another big time moment in this national championship game.
And of course, I say that he's not a big strikeout guy. That's dotted on the outer third there in a big time strikeout for the second out of the inning. Or excuse me, the first out of the inning. But that's a huge out nonetheless after the leadoff single.
Yeah, no doubt. And the 8 hole here, Dylan Leach already with a base hit on the night. And lurking on deck is Carson Ford, who we saw have 2 big doubles last night. 0 for 2 so far on the day, but we talked about it. Carson Ford's on the 10-year plan that you guys said at Tennessee Wesleyan. So a big experienced veteran bat there at the bottom of the lineup now, and someone that's delivered throughout his career with 1 down here and a 2-0 count now to start things off against Dylan Leach. A big-time moment here in the game for Drury and this Tennessee Wesleyan offense. If they're able to flip this order around, and look out.
Yeah, you're right. 100% you're right. This is a big out. This could be a big turning point for Tennessee Wesleyan if they can get something going right here.
We'll see what happens here with Leach, and that's going to be foul, just foul. Shot it past the first baseman, but just foul down that first base line.
Third baseman.
Go ahead, G.
Yeah, third baseman at the plate. This is what we kind of talked about. Can he extend this inning right here?
And Leach is going to pop this one up. Who's got it? Is this a Connor? Oh, look at that. Pitchers are athletes. The pitcher taking the pop up, every coach's worst nightmare. But the pitcher taking the pop up there and gets the out for the second out of the inning.
Hey, when you show that you can do it, you deserve to get you one. So I think this guy should get him an at bat later in the game too. I'm just throwing that out there. Pitchers are athletes. We need to put that on one of our shirts and sell it this summer.
Hey, you'd say there's no tomorrow for both these teams. Like we said, you gotta throw all your cards out there. So it could be a potential here late in the game, and another big time AB here with 2 down as Carson Ford steps up, and 2, 3, 4 coming up in the next half inning for the Royals lineup. So needing to at least scratch one here, obviously tying things up, especially with the dangerous part of the order coming up for Hope International next half.
Where are we? Top of the 6th, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we're in the bottom half of the 6 right now. HIU is the away team. But the scoreboard for some reason says top of the 6, but it is the bottom. I'm sorry, it is the top of the 6. I'm ahead. I'm looking at the stats. So that'll tell you what happens. Carson Ford grounds out to the second baseman. Just going to throw that out there. So that's where we're at. We are headed to the bottom of the 6. Sorry.
So the Royals are going to have to go through the top of Tennessee Wesleyan's order not once but twice, possibly.
Possibly,
Yes.
yes. Possibly. As Ford there on the video finally does chop out, and he is out in the inning is over. A very nice job by Justin Drury as HIU now inching closer, would like some more insurance runs. I don't think this game ends 8-6.
I want any
I got
part
a question
of that.
for you.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I got a question for you guys. You guys have done a lot of information about other teams in the NAIA baseball and just kind of shooting things out from what goes on in NAIA baseball. But what's been y'all's most memorable experience this year in covering NAIA baseball outside of the Garza ejection at the Cajun collision?
Dang it, you
Well, you
took
have
my
to give me a
first
second.
option.
What's number 2 on y'all's list?
I think for me, the most fun thing we've done, or the most memorable thing we've done this year, has been ABCA and working at ABCA and getting to go out to the American Baseball Coaches Association and take part in that and connecting with coaches. And then for me, that's where I feel like we really started to get a lot bigger was in 2018 when it was in Dallas, and being able to go out there and meet so many coaches that either A, I already knew, or B, did not know, and then getting to come back in 2024 and do that all again and connect with coaches, that we don't normally see. Gee, you and I see each other, hopefully every year. I run into Kay, I feel like every 3 years. But I don't get to run into a lot of coaches all the time. So it is, and just an absolute fun thing to do is work ABCA and get to connect with coaches from the KCAC, coaches from the Sun, coaches from the GPAC, just nationally. And they're going to get Moreno out there on a 3-1 put out, which brings us to must watch television. JJ Cruz up at the plate against Ganaway here. He has been on fire and a big reason of why the Royals are where they are in this game. So after this at bat, we'll continue with I can't wait to hear Connor and Taylor's favorite memorable moment of this season. But that's been the most fun, is getting to do that. So JJ Cruz batting here. They're going to try to buzz him inside, and he is able to raise his hands and step out of the way of that one. This guy in this game has flown out to center. He's also hit a 3-run home run and a double, 4 RBIs. 4 of the 8 runs are because of JJ, have been driven in by JJ Cruz, and he himself has scored a run. So really, he is responsible for 5 of the 8 runs. This one is going to be hit high in the air, sky high, but the center fielder Newman will make the catch for the second out of the inning there. So 2 outs now in the bottom half of the 6th. I guess, Connor, your favorite moment of the year outside of the Cajun collision ejection?
Oh man, that was a big highlight of my week right there. I still need to get that trophy done to send to you, Bobby. But no, ABCA was great because, like you said, like I get to go see my Columbia coaches every so often. I'll make a trip up there and see them. But just kind of getting to interact and meet some of the people I've met through Twitter, or I guess now X. Getting to meet them and see them. I mean, I had people come up to me I didn't even know their name, and I thought that was pretty wild. That I just make pictures for a living, but it's that was a fun experience. The Cajun was awesome. You get to see a bunch of teams all in one setting. Um, that's always a good weekend, even though it was cut down to two. Then just conference tournaments. Covering conference tournaments was a blast. We kind of went viral on some stuff, even in the opening rounds, like the IU Southeast comeback. I mean, it's pretty cool to see all that. That's probably one of my favorite moments of the year. And then just seeing how everyone supports us across the country. Like I was in Lincoln for the opening round, and I saw 2 or 3 people wearing NAI ball shirts. And I was like, well, that's crazy. I made that logo sitting in the middle of class, not doing anything when I should have been doing work. But yeah, it's awesome to see everybody come together and support us. And I'll go to states, like I'll get out of Oklahoma and I'll go catch games, and I'll see people repping the brand, or people come up and be like, hey, I saw you were in Dallas or something, or down in Shreveport or Sterlington. It's just
Sky high pop up. Connor is going to get us out of the 6th inning. The 6th inning is over. It is 8-6
it's time to make
in
a graphic.
favor of HIU as we head to the top half of the 7th. I know you have to put up a graphic. You want to finish your thought there?
Yeah, it's been fun this year. We've gotten more sponsors, so we're obviously doing something right. Kind of reaching to the next level of NAI ball, because we've definitely made some growth this year, and it's just been fun to see all the new stuff we do and it paying off, and us working to building up the brand even more and taking it to the next level. So I'd probably say that was my favorite part.
Taylor, what you got for us?
I think for me is the biggest thing, aside from the Garza ejection at the Cajun, which he actually granted me to see another one there in the Sooner Athletic Conference tournament. So I appreciate that one. Both speaking of the Sooner Athletic Conference tournament at Oklahoma City, a lot of ejections both on the diamond and outside in the stands. So real fun atmosphere that I got to see for that one, first one covering it. But ultimately for me, first year with the brand, just kind of networking myself individually with all these coaches that, you and Connor have already built up a great relationship with. Robbie, Coach Garza being one that I obviously competed against as a player, and now in the media role that I am, getting to network myself with coaches like him and Coach Dinkle and Nate Breland and some big names that we have across the country. ABCA being one for me, just being able to walk around. Of course, we saw Ron Polk afwe he asked us a question.
Oh, that's such a great moment.
Mhm.
Ron Polk, where the bathroom was.
Yeah. I mean, we should have asked him for an interview and asked him if he even knew what the NAI was. But just cool moments like that, and then of course just getting the hospitality that we got down at the Cajun, and really throughout the entire year that we got to go out and catch ball games. It's cool to see and be recognized as a part of the brand, and just goes to show, kind of like Connor said, we're appreciated across the country, and doing it every day with our day jobs in that too. It's hard to kind of keep sight of that until you are out in person and see that. So those have been some of my favorite moments, just networking myself with great coaches at our level, and then ultimately seeing the fan support firsthand has been really awesome to see.
I take that back. That is my favorite moment of the year, is Ron Polk coming over to our table, not to talk baseball, but to ask us if we knew where the bathroom was. I mean, we will tell the legend himself where the bathroom is every single day of the week. And it was our pleasure to point him in the right direction. The top of the 7th begins, and it's underway with the top of the lineup, Braxton Turner. 1 for 3 today, looking to find a way on here if he can. And Tennessee Wesleyan has had no shortage of runners. They're actually, they've had 9 hits and left 3 on base, but they have committed 2 errors. Hope International has 11 hits and left 5 on base in this game. So the offense is definitely going for both teams. And there's a single through the left side and a runner on, as Jonathan Edmonds says, Tyler Norris is his favorite. Well, that's tough because Tyler Norris is not here. So unfortunate. So 1 on and nobody out here as we're going to bring up Stevens. Tyler tried to tie my record of watching absolutely 0 pitches in 2021 of the World Series and just fell short of it because I feel like he definitely watched a little bit of the Kansas Wesleyan games that happened. So that's unfortunate for Tyler. But Tyler is on the road right now. We wish him safe travels as they head down to Alabama from Indianapolis. A runner on and nobody out for Tennessee Wesleyan as they try to bring this game a little bit closer. Still well within this game. Top of the order, Stevens batting. And Justin Drury is the pitcher here for Hope International in a big moment as that one's going to be fouled off.
He's gone off speed to this guy early. I'm curious to see if he's going to try to sneak a fastball in here or try to extend one off the plate for a purpose for a ball. He goes up with it.
Well, that one's going to be out, and it's going to find the gap. It's going to get cut off nicely by Sims there, but the throw is going to come into the infield, and it's going to be runners on the corners with nobody out here in the top half of the 7th. 8-6 HIU leads Tennessee Wesleyan.
Yeah, I like
the
combo that he did there with the pitching, being able to go spinner, and then it looked like a change up, and then I thought that was the right pitch to call right there as the fastball, but just missed the location. And man, you're playing for a national championship. A slight miss of the location changes things.
I wonder if they're going to go to the pen again. We did see the same coach come out and make a pitching change earlier. I thought that was interesting because, G, do you ever send out Shopik to make the pitching change?
Yeah, so Shopik does all of our pitching. He's really good with communicating with our pitchers. You know, the extent of me going out to do some sort of pitching change kind of looks like this. I'll go out there and I'll say, son, you ever played soccer? And typically they'll say, well, no, sir. And I said, well, son, maybe you need to, okay? Because this ain't working out for us. Shopik does it slightly differently, and he does a better job. So, yeah, he does all of our pitching changes and communicates with our pitchers. But I'm curious if they go to the sub guy here, the sidearm guy, to try to get the double play ball.
Exactly. They're going to the closer. They're going to Orderica. Taylor, is that how you say it? Orderica?
Yeah, Orderica, who we saw, I believe it was 2 scoreless his last time out in the tournament, and they went to him a lot in that opening round at Central Methodist there in Fayette, and in that game too, both him and Boom Ward are guys who are high leverage out of the bullpen, and both with sub-3 ERAs and a lot of innings now. Orderica, I want to say, is around top 3, top 4 in innings out of the bullpen too. It's really, really impressive stuff. And the sidearmer here, as Coach Garza said, a big time double play in order here, potentially with the 3-hole Marcos Martinez up. Going to one of your better relievers here, and you kind of have to like the move for Hope. But no outs, runners on the corners, and your 3-hole up sets up really, really well for Tennessee Wesleyan. A big time moment here as we go to the bullpen.
Yeah, this is a huge moment, and this guy's been nails so far in the tournament from what I remember. Just I feel like every time he's come into the game, he shut it down. I know he's had some late inning opportunities there. So he's thrown 5 1/3 innings. He's got a win. This is his 4th appearance of the World Series. Just 2 strikeouts, but has allowed 0 runs. So he inherits 2 runners on here and gets a big swing and a miss on the first pitch he throws to Martinez. So Chris Munoz says
OCU Chris Munoz.
OCU Chris Munoz Yep, he said downtown Fullerton has greased the poles just in case tonight. So they are preparing there. This is Fullerton, California's best college baseball team
Shout
playing.
out to Fullerton, California, 1995 NCAA
Yeah,
national champions.
I'll tell you, Chris Munoz is one of those players where you saw him and you just could not take your eyes off of how he played. The guy
I
played
hated him.
really well. Oh my goodness.
Hated him.
One of the best we saw during that time period of being able to play the game of baseball. I mean, he was a special ball player.
Hated Chris Munoz. Not anymore, Chris, but when we were playing, I was like, can we get this guy freaking out?
Who's the best NAI baseball player that you guys have seen personally?
Ooh, wow.
That's a tough one.
Oh,
Or maybe we
man.
can go maybe we can go hitter, one pitcher.
Ever seen or I guess played with?
Well, it could be both. Well, I mean, technically you saw him. You played with him.
Most talented for me right off the bat for pitcher. It's tough because we faced both Tim Hill,
Yeah.
Brad Weeks
Ooh,
from
yeah, he
OCU. And who made Carlos just look stupid. I'll never forget that guy, man. He made Carlos All-American Carlos Contreras just look dumb. 0 for 4 with 4 Ks. And we also saw Julian Merriweather. So we faced all of those guys. I'm going to have to go with hitter. I'm going to go with Caden Burgess from Kaiser.
Special individual. Special.
He's just, when you talk about this league of second chance guys, there we go. That's a big strikeout on a 3-2 pitch. There, Martinez is out. It's one of those things. It's that kind of, yeah. Connor, are you wearing a Bills hat? Somebody.
Not that I know of. I mean, I'm wearing Southeastern right now. That's one of my buddies.
Oh, okay.
Ignore him. He's just trying to start stuff.
Makes sense. Yeah, we'd have those guys in here.
No, he's just 5'2". I am not 5'2".
No, Caven Burgess for me. I mean, you guys had to play against. I'm sure you came, in the years before I got Northwood, some of the really talented players. It's an 0-1 count here to McGill, who's trying to at least drive in 1 and do a job here and cut the lead down to 1. Y'all have probably played some guys. I remember, man, the year we faced Jared Mortensen, who pitched in the World Baseball Classic for Canada. Greg Friesen, we couldn't get freaking Greg Friesen out to say. I feel like every time he came around to hit, the ball was over the fence. So there were some really big names that we faced. If you want to talk about most famous player ever, Texas Wesleyan's got a case for having the most famous baseball player ever. One of the most famous baseball player ever to play NAI baseball, at that time didn't really exist, but to play at this level, I mean, you're talking about Tris Speaker.
Yeah, definitely. Many people don't know that, but yeah, he's I guess you could say Texas. We were named differently back then.
Yeah.
Tris Speaker. Little fun fact about Texas Wesleyan: the Undertaker was a basketball player at Texas Wesleyan.
Yeah, the Undertaker was a basketball player.
I forgot about that.
Yep.
That's a thing.
Kind of staying on that trend. Bobby Lashley is a Missouri Valley grad, I believe. Robbie, do you know who that is?
I have no clue who you're freaking talking about.
He's like a
I know who
UFC,
it is.
WWE guy. Speaking of
Yeah.
The Undertaker, he's like one of the most famous wrestlers, or he did.
Yeah, that's a
some
big
UFC
time.
Stuff.
That's a big time name. That's a
It's
big
another
time
strikeout there. So 2 outs. Orica has come in and gotten 2 straight strikeouts here, and the chances of Tennessee Wesleyan being able to drive in a run are getting slim.
Yeah, Odorica has looked the part of one of the best relievers of this tournament so far, and has been used in those high leverage situations all year long for Coach Mahoney's club, and back to back strikeouts there, especially to the 3 and 4 hole, and a guy like Evan McGill, who has had one of the hottest bats of this World Series, and now with 2 down, coming out of the bullpen with back to back Ks, that is all you can ask for Odorica, and he's not out of it yet with Kale Webster here now
Oh man,
stepping up to
lost
the
his bat
ditch.
there.
Oh. You know, being a sidearm guy myself, this is it's kind of nice to see him get some strikeouts because I was a ground ball pitcher, and I mean I just throw it in there and they'd beat it into the ground. So it's kind of nice to see a sidearm guy get some strikeouts.
And he's doing it against lefties, right? This is not
Yep.
really a favorable matchup, but
Mhm.
you know, being able to get strikeouts as opposed to soft contact or a jam shot bloop or whatever, ball off the end of the bat, you know, it's pretty big right now.
I always
Yeah,
hated.
Odorica was a guy that we mentioned in the team preview there for Hope International, and getting to see him on that live stream there in the opening round. One of the key reasons why they were able to pull away late in that game against Tabor, came out and was able to give them some length, and that's big time from one of your best relievers, as he's now sitting with a 1-2 count and 1 pitch away from getting out of this and really shifting the momentum of this ball game back into the Royals dugout.
That ball's going to go foul. That would have scored 1, maybe 2. Chris Munoz says he played with Dane Phillips. So Dane Phillips is a good one. I mean, gee, I feel like we saw a lot of major leaguers
Yeah,
that 2012 to 2014 timeframe.
we sure did. You know, Bobby Spain was a big one out of Oklahoma City. You know, Kiki Menendez, Texas Wesleyan. We've had golly, there's such a lot of them. Watson, left-handed pitcher out of USAO, was another big one.
Yeah.
That golly, that kid could really spin a baseball. And then, you know, up until recently, you're talking about Colton Williams as being another guy, right?
Merrill.
What he,
Yep.
yeah, I mean, what and what we don't really realize is that, you know, Colton Williams stole a lot of the glory from that pitching staff, but they
Yes.
had Mutineer. I mean, come on, that guy's an ace at, you know, a lot of schools, and that was probably one of the best pitching staffs, along with Brad Week area, Sean Nolan, that group at Oklahoma City. You know, at what Kaiser had Stephen Bruce and
Big strikeout there. Cody Gray. We had Stephen Bruce and Cody Gray
Cody
at the
Gray.
same time.
Yeah.
Monster
Cody
group.
Faulkner was there. Yeah, I mean,
Back to back to back strikeouts to get out of the inning. Odorica is really looking good there. An absolutely massive moment as Hope International from California is looking to take a potential national title here. Big time from them to get out of that inning. I have to imagine we're going to see Odorica for a while. I mean, he needs 6 more
No
outs.
question.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But as we're between innings, G, like you're saying, I mean, we saw a lot of great players, a lot of really, you know, these guys who are a little bit younger have also seen some really good players. But I feel like, you know, the talent level then was, I mean, just through the roof, because he didn't have a transfer portal. He didn't have you know, you had guys that if they were done at D1, they weren't going to another D1. They were coming down. I mean, not often do you get a Teddy Now from TCU.
yeah.
Stephen Bruce from Oklahoma. You know, Cody Faulkner, last guy to throw a no-hitter at the NAI World Series from Kansas State. You know, it's big things like that you don't see too much anymore at this level. We did talk about how we might see it a little bit more in the next year because the the JUCO COVID waiver giving guys an extra year where they're not able to play Division I baseball.
Yeah, this is it for those guys, right? This is our last season. and then we're back to. Can you say we're back to normalcy when it comes to recruiting?
If you want to say it, you're the guy recruiting out there. If you want to say
good
that
point.
it's back to normalcy after this season, you go for it.
You know, I was this close about putting out there on the on X about how all the pictures that we're seeing on the portal, when you go look at their stats, like they don't throw strikes. You know, and I'm like, yeah, oh man, that guy's 94 now. Let's go get him. Then you're like, yeah, I don't know, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it gets back to normal. We'll see if it gets back to normal. Who knows?
Toyo is going to single through the right side there. So a leadoff single for the 5-hole hitter. And that'll bring up Sims. Sims has grounded out in all of his at bats. Jonathan brings up a good point. Can't forget about Seth Brown. Seth Brown, of course, from LC.
Good one.
Playing for the Oakland Athletics. The Athletics have a couple of NAI guys. They've got Lucas Urseg also from Menlo out there in California. Converted two-way player, was a high round draft pick out of Menlo. We've
Webb
got
from Tabor.
Jacob Webb from Tabor. You've got a guy in Jonathan Schreiber right now who's a big setup piece for the Royals. Like I said, Tim Hill. We saw Tim Hill in 2013 at good old Bacone in Muskogee, Oklahoma. We had to drive all the way out to Muskogee to face Tim Hill. And we saw him in 2013, and he's been with a couple teams. He actually got traded in the middle of a big playoff run from the Royals to the Padres one year. Now he's with the White Sox this season. So that's a lot of fun to see. So there's quite a few guys this year, mainly arms, at this level that are NAI guys who have played at this level.
Is a shortstop from the shortstop from out in California? He was with the Angels for a while.
Oh, you're talking about, I know the name escapes me, but he is with the Angels. He's a guy who's been in the big leagues, for multiple points at a time, and he's
I'm trying to figure out where he came
Michael Stevanich, right?
Yeah, Stefanik. Yeah.
Stefanik, yeah.
So, he's a California kid also, and playing there for the Angels. Patrick Lee just went with the Detroit Tigers, as Lori is saying in there. So it's been interesting to see. This is a 2-2 count here also in the game, and if you're keeping up with the stats, you'll see here in a moment that we have a little bit of an update in what is going on in this ball game. But yeah, there have been a lot of talented players. I mean, our Player of the Year award is named after a Hall of Famer who played at this level, won a national championship at Southern, the only HBCU to ever win a national title, in Lou Brock, the NAI Ball Lou Brock Player of the Year award. So Lou Brock, an NAI guy. You've got the Negro brothers were NAI guys.
Don't forget our Twitter hitting guru.
I know exactly where you're going with this. Jeff Fry.
Jeff Fry is an NAI guy.
Jeff Fry is an NAI guy. Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. I remember when he got his start, he actually messaged us on Twitter before he became what he is, what his account is now. He had messaged us saying that. So Larry Mahoney looks like he's out there talking to the offense and having a conversation as we're going to have a pinch hitter. Jones is going to pinch hit here for Maciel, and he is going to talk to the offense about what he wants to do. He's got all of the coaches as well as all of the runners in there. Larry Mahoney, a guy who took over a few years ago for HIU and has done a great job in turning this program, a program that was already good, had some ups and downs, and turning this program back into a consistent winner. I actually thought last year was the year that we would see HIU in the World Series, and they actually got to the Lewiston opening round tournament and went 0-2 as the 1 seed. This year, able to bounce back from that, and I think a little bit older, a little bit more mature, and this team has been every bit as advertised. So Jones pinch hitting here for Maciel against Ganaway.
Yeah, look for a potential sack bunt here. We saw Jones a couple nights ago come up and drop down a sack bunt and actually beat it out. And now with a little bit of command issues here for Ganaway of Tennessee Wesleyan, what I believe is his third night in a row of work out of the bullpen. Looking to move the runners over with first and second situation, obvious one at that, with nobody out, and to add some more insurance now as Lemastra sits right behind him and 2 for 3 on the night. A big time moment here to potentially drop down this sacrifice bunt. And real quickly too, wanted to answer one of you guys' questions. Just talking about the best players that we've seen. Garza, I know we've talked about it, but the best pitcher I've personally seen, aside from Colton Williams.
Taylor, we've got some action here as that bunt was down. It was thrown away, and now the ball's going to get away from the catcher, and it'll be runners on second and third. A run comes in to score on that, and it is 9-6 now. HIU, again, it goes back to this. We talked about, and we mentioned in this we talked about in this tournament, last year we saw Westmont. Westmont in the regular season offensively did not have the greatest year. They came into the tournament and had the absolute best tournament possible. They were fantastic. HIU had a fantastic season, had a great postseason, and has just continued to turn it on here in Lewiston, in a place that they were not originally comfortable in. And now, sure enough, here is Lemastra driving one into the gap. That ball is down, and the bases will clear. 11-6. Those poles better be greased in Fullerton, because Hope International has broken this one open into a big 5-run lead with nobody out in the bottom of the 7th. And at this point, Billy Berry's got to go get Ganaway.
Yeah, have to here and go into the 9 spot in the order with Bard T. Just what a night too. You kind of have to get contributions from every single part in your lineup, and Hope International has done just that. With everyone in the lineup, aside from 8 out of your 9 hitters recording a hit. Lemastra now 3 for 4 with a big time bases clearing double to make it a 5-run cushion now in the 7th. And this just sets up extremely well for the Royals now. We saw Odorica come in and dominate that last inning and swing the momentum right back in favor. And the Royals lineup grabs that momentum that they got from Odorica, and now they lead 5 runs with 6 outs left remaining to get to ultimately crown themselves national champion. You have to like where they're at here, as we're going to get a pitching change from Billy Berry as Ganaway is going to exit.
Yeah, Bertini is going to come into the game massive. And Taylor, you said it. I mean, they've gotten just big moments from the entire lineup. From every part of this lineup has come out to help this ball club. And especially in this game, they've scored 11 runs on 14 hits. They've only committed 1 error. 3 errors for Tennessee Wesleyan have not helped. Ganaway fielded that bunt, threw it away. I mean, that's a tough play. That might be one he wishes he had just put in his back pocket at this point.
Yeah, Coach Berry's got – go ahead. Sorry about that.
No, you got it, Coach. Go ahead.
I was going to say Coach Berry's got an opportunity here, and he's been here before. He knows this, but I think as this is where you rally the troops together. You say, keep rolling, man. Keep rolling with the punches. You're here for a reason. You belong here, right? Know that you belong here, and just as quickly as they put up a few runs, we have an opportunity to do the same. And look to see how Tennessee Wesleyan bounces back from this. So, yeah, that's a good club over there. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did bounce back. But yeah, let's see some more runs for both teams. Right? 25-26. Come on.
Your prediction started hot. It's fallen a little bit flat here in the later part of the game. But a runner on second base in that dreaded part of the order for Hope International looming. Guys, we don't give out a World Series MVP award, but Cruz, if he he's 2 for 4 right now. He goes 3 for 5. As much as he's done in this tournament, he's got to be the front runner so far.
Yeah, no question about it. Cruz has had a big time night, a 5-hit performance, and now sitting on a 2 for 4 night. But with that homer and the double now, 4 RBIs. Cruz is well over double-digit RBIs for the tournament. Has looked like one of the best players all season long there, and what has been a incredible lineup for this Royals offense, and he's doing it against some of the best competition. And Robbie, you talked about that. We look at that and look at the competition played, and he's doing that against the best of the best here in Lewiston as he looks to potentially ice this game up if he can get on or get up to the plate in this inning with runners on base and to potentially deliver the final blow with swinging a red hot bat here tonight. 2 for 4 performances from Rivera, Moreno, and Cruz, the top of the lineup. That's been the key here for this lineup tonight.
So big strikeout there for the first out of the inning. As the lineup now turns over, we go to David Rivera. HIU has played an incredible tournament. Tennessee Wesleyan has played an incredible tournament. But Larry Mahoney's squad has been really special since that first game of the tournament against, all odds. They have been great. I mean, you're talking about a team losing its first game and coming back around to potentially win the World Series. It's the stuff that dreams are made of. I mean, it's gutting it out, going to work every single game, getting everybody to buy in. And that's what this team feels like right now as they're bought into the brand of baseball that they're playing.
Yeah, no question. They've looked the part, and Bertini in now for some more work out of the pen and facing that potent top of the lineup. And as we say it, that top of the lineup delivers again. David Rivera way out to left field, a 2-run shot, 13-6 now. They have doubled up on the lead, a 7-run cushion for the Royals. And folks, that could be it right here as Rivera sends it way out to left field.
Yeah, I mean, again, it goes back to just absolutely big time from Rivera. And I feel like every game that Cruz is homered, Rivera is homered. Every game that Rivera is homered, Cruz is homered. Both of these guys, usually one goes yard, the other goes yard. And sure enough, Cruz homered earlier in the game. Rivera is now homered in that one. He got a hanger and he just took it over the fence and over that second wall as well. Massive, massive, massive. Now 13-6. 5 runs in this inning. The first 3 came with nobody out. The second 2 have come in here with 1 out in the inning. It is just been absolutely massive. We got a comment here that says Rivera Cruz co-MVP or we riot. I mean, at this point, they've both had huge World Series, and that's one of the things you need is that timely hitting, the good pitching, and a little bit of luck to win in this tournament. And that's exactly what HIU has done across the board here for like 4 straight games now, as that one is driven deep, but foul into that one freaking Pepsi bottle that they always have out there. Just absolutely huge. HIU has come through big time in 4 straight elimination games and doing a good job of it. The GSAC trying to win back-to-back national titles. And continue their dominance here. They are consistently a top 5 conference nationally. At one point this year, we had several GSAC teams in our, in our media poll, and they've looked good. We had 2 of the teams get to Lewiston in Arizona Christian and HIU, and this conference is good. And here comes Cruz as he's going to come up to the plate. He's going to hit one to second, and that one is going to go kick off the heel of the glove of Webster, and Cruz is going to be safe via the air there. That is going to be the 4th error of the night on Tennessee Wesleyan. Gee, it's hard to win like that.
Yeah, it's very hard to win. Right, 2 out RBIs, minimizing your mistakes on the field. 2-strike hitting. That's what wins championships, pitching and defense. And then We always have a saying, pressure bursts pipes, and the more you can continue to put pressure on the other team, especially in a situation like this, um, you know, I know Tennessee's Wesleyan's trying to get out of this to get their sticks back at the plate. So Coach Berry will get them going again. They're fine. I don't think this game's not over with, in my opinion.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. No, I don't think this game is over with.
Hey, I just need one more for the over, and I'm good.
We're counting outs at this point.
You never count outs ever. You don't count outs. Can't do that. Yeah, I don't think this game is over. I see Tennessee Wesleyan coming back into this, and like I said, 25-26.
I want to run a quick story by you. So when we were in Lewiston, Cody Faulkner, last no hitter thrown against Sterling. We threw that. He threw that, and we got to be a part of it as a team. But half the team, and yourself included, did not know he threw a no hitter.
Yeah, that 9 a.m. games need to be eliminated because the way that the glare was shining off the scoreboard, you couldn't see it. I kept telling myself, we got one run in the first inning, I believe, and I just kept telling myself, there's no way this team is out hitting us, man. There's no way they're out hitting us. And then sure enough, the last out was recorded, and I thought, okay, we get to survive till the next day, and our boys, just go out to the field like we won the World Series. I'm like, man, we got a long way to go. What are these guys doing? And Teddy now looks at me and says, you have no clue what's going on. I go, no. He goes, he just threw a no-hitter. I go, oh, well, hell, I didn't know. I couldn't see that because of the glare on the scoreboard.
Yeah. Adam Humes scored, drove in a sac fly, drove in Logan Brumley. That's a heck of a combination. That's throwing one back. But Adam Humes drove in Logan Brumley in the top half of the first. And then Cody Faulkner threw 94 pitches, 80 fastballs, because I charted that game. And was absolutely special. The last no-hitter in World Series history back in 2013. 1-0 Northwood defeats Sterling in that.
Who coached that Sterling team, Rob? Do you remember who coached that?
Who coached that Sterling team? I want to say it was Adrian Dinkle. I think Adrian Dinkle was the head coach of that Sterling team. Sure was. So there we go. We got a leadoff single here in the top half of the eighth for Tennessee Wesleyan as Cruz Newman singles. So Tennessee Wesleyan trying to claw their way back in here. It is going to take a lot of timely hitting and smart playing and some luck as well. And they're going to have to force HIU, whose defense has been solid in this tournament, to do some things that they have not done.
Yeah, and just coming into the G said he's not counting outs and to never count outs, but now with the leadoff single to start, it only bodes well as Newman's had a 3-for-4 night, and then Dylan Stewart coming out and Leach already with a hit too. You got to think a guy like Carson Ford's not going to be held off of the box score for long, and this potentially could be his last at bat. So as we all know, Billy Berry's club's never out of it. We've seen that last night as that one was a back and forth game, and if they're able to string some quality at bats together here and potentially chip away at this lead and get the middle of the order back up again with a chance to threaten into the deficit, cut into the deficit here, could be big for the ball game. But against an Arden like Odorica, who's looked really impressive so far with the 3 strikeouts, going to be a really, really tough task here late, down 7 now.
Yeah, I'll tell you,
it's gonna be big.
Yeah, there's one person that does not want this game to get anywhere remotely close. It's the home plate umpire, right? Think of the stress and the nerves that he's going to have to be back there the last game of the year, and we've got a close ball game, close pitches. So I'd like to think he's back there for a reason. So let's see how this game plays out, and let's see what the strike zone looks like.
And there is the first out of the inning as via the strikeout there as I'm waiting on stats to catch up. Oderica has been lights out in this tournament, man. He's not giving up a run. Looks like Billy Berry's going to make a pinch hitting substitution here and go to another McGill. How many McGills can there be on one team? But he is going to go to a different McGill here to pinch hit. It'll be interesting to see.
That's a good question. Check the chat. That's a good question.
So Andrew, well, hold on, we'll get the play here, and it is going to be a muff throw, and the runner is going to be safe because the ball is out on the floor, and Rivera is holding his hand. He may have been spiked on that play.
Yeah, that's huge. He looks to be in a lot of pain there. The veteran shortstop who we've seen make an impact now with the bat and the glove already seems to be down in a lot of pain right here. This is a big moment and a potential loss here for Hope International should Rivera have to exit this game as Coach Mahoney's going to come check on his shortstop. Real big moment here, and you hope it's nothing serious here, and you hope that is just what happened. But judging from the reaction, does not look good right now for Rivera at short.
Yeah, he definitely got him right there. They showed the shot from the outfield, and he definitely got him.
Well, yeah, he definitely got him, and he's also you know, the other thing I was thinking is he out or is he safe? He's safe, but he is also very spiked.
Yeah, right on the hand there, right on the glove hand.
Man, that's not fun.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna need all the time that it takes here. That one was really rough, trying to reach back toward the bat and make a play, and just getting stepped on right on the wrist there too on the glove hand. That is never fun, and definitely one of the reasons why I'm happy I played outfield throughout my college career as I got into high school. Didn't have to deal with this, but real tough moment here, and late in the game too. You got to think, will that be able to reset the mind of Oderica, who's been locked in, or will it potentially tip in favor for the Bulldogs offense as they're threatening here with nobody out and a runner on first and second?
To talk about Andrew's question, and JC, you can watch the game on ESPN3. To talk about Andrew's question, Andrew, I think you have to go all the way back to the 60s. When conferences were a little bit weirder, but these names are going to sound weird in NAI. Georgia Southern and East Carolina national champions. As that one will not fall, that'll be caught. So it'll be 2 outs here in the inning with 2 on here for Tennessee Wesleyan. They're definitely going to need to scratch across some. Other than, you know, with 2 separate teams and 2 outs and 2 on, and now I've got a connection error for my stream. Does anybody else have a connection error?
I'm looking good thus far. Haven't gotten anything yet, as I'm in the same spot as you. It looks like with the live stats, 1 down with the runner on first, and potential threatening chance here as Dylan Leach is going to step up to the plate at the 8 hole.
I don't know what happened there. I was just able to come back from that, and now we're all good.
I've now got runners first and second, and he hits the guy. So bases
it should be bases loaded. It looks like the stats just went a little haywire there.
Yeah.
Yeah, bases loaded, 2 outs here in the 8th. This is a huge opportunity to draw even here, and it looks like Stevens is going to come to the plate. Yeah, Andrew, I want to say that that's the last time you have to go back to it, and that's something that we talked about with the whole thing was we talked a little bit about, you know, some of the things that have happened since NAI ball started, you know, and the GSAC, since, you know, Concordia won the national title, which was before NAI ball started. We hadn't seen a lot of national success. We've seen, individual success in getting to the World Series and all of that, but we had not seen national success until, of course, Westmont last year. And now all of the sudden, we've seen just a major swing for the GSAC in the last 2 years. And it has been absolutely massive for that conference, and what HIU has done. Here's a little slow roller over to second. He's going to field, make the play, and the inning is over. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Y'all carry the conversation for a little bit if you can, and I will be right back.
Yeah, no doubt. A big time performance there again from Odorica after the craziness there to start the inning to settle back in, getting Carson Ford to fly out and then grounding out Jack Stevens to escape the threat. 3 more outs now for the Royals to claim the second straight championship for the GSAC conference. This has been a big time performance out of the bullpen, and we talked about it earlier in the game, guys. With the craziness to start with Tennessee Wesleyan putting 2 up in the first, and then Hope International responding with 4. Whoever was going to be able to come out of the bullpen and give their team some length and put up a few zeros was able to swing the momentum, and that's been the case of Odorica and Drury too on the backs of Sealy, and some big time swings now from this Hope International offense. But Odorica being able to throw up some zeros as it's now going to be the 5th straight 0 for this Bulldog offense from the 4th inning on. It's been huge out of relief for the Royals, and has been the key to this game so far as they hold the lead, looking to secure this one in the next half inning.
Yeah, it's been he kind of struggled there, but he stuck true to himself and kind of did his job. It's something about those sidearm closers, and I know Coach Garza can attest to that. He's got him a good subby from what I remember, and just speaking on my experience, those subby sidearmers they have some pretty good success. You still have that subby guy, Garza?
We do, yeah. He's coming back. He's got 1 year left. So we've had a lot of success at Texas Wesleyan with sidearm submarine guys throughout the years. Going back, All-Americans, guys have opportunities to play pro ball, and we'd like to think we're Sidearm University.
Yeah, we used to call Columbia that because my first year we had maybe 5 or 6 of us.
Yeah.
And
I got a funny story about Parker Robinson, one of our submarine guys. He may be listening, as a matter of fact, but he came in as a first baseman, and he was basically dressed in a fungo. That's what he looked like. So, I mean, he was skin and bones. And I said, son, you're never going to play first base for us. And he says, Coach, I want to play. And we said, well, let's see if we can have you throw a baseball kind of down from Laredo. And he tried it out. And sure enough, by his senior year, he wound up being an All-American, I believe, and got to play a little bit of professional baseball. So, yeah, good story about these submarine guys. Sometimes it doesn't work over the top. You just drop down a little bit and create some movement and get some outs.
Yeah, I can attest to Parker Robinson there, Coach. We got to see him a lot, especially in that 2019 season. Real weapon out of the bullpen for you guys.
Definitely.
As that 2019 squad was definitely stacked, and Robinson was a very special arm. I didn't know that about him, so that's pretty cool to hear. As he was able to come in as one position and ultimately turn himself up into a big time closer and an All-American for you guys.
Ryan Sturgeon says sidearm guys rule. Chris Munoz says that he himself is taking the grease off the poles in Fullerton. So all of that is going on currently. And it looks like Andrew Sim is going to join him in that as well, in taking the grease off the poles there in Fullerton, California. Again, Fullerton, California's best team is playing baseball right now in this World Series. So
yes,
that's not an opinion. That's just a straight fact.
A lot of the Hope International lineup too. When we looked at this roster, Cruz and a couple other guys have come over too from Cal State Fullerton now, and have really obviously made an impact. Cruz especially, but kind of nice that it works out there to be in the the same town there in California is one of the best baseball programs that we've all seen in our lifetimes, despite the recent struggles now for the Fullerton Titans. As I wear this hat, Robbie, I think you know who their coach was when they won this national title there in 1995, the late great Augie Garrido.
Garrido, University of Texas. Well, that one's going to get by the catcher, and we'll have a runner back in scoring position here for Hope International in the 8th, as they are just trying to add on and bring a national title home to California. It would be back-to-back national titles for the state of California. It would be absolutely massive for them. Bertini continues to be out there, and Sims is at the plate. And sure enough, that one is going to go off the wall. So a run will score as that one goes off the left field wall. And it is now 14-6 in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, just missed that one. A great swing by Sims. I've said it all night long, but just contributions from everybody in this lineup. 8 out of the 9 guys now. David Rivera, 3 for 5. Then you go down to the 5-hole. Dean Toigo, 3 for 5. Sims just missing his second home run of the tournament there with that big time RBI double. Now 14-6, Hope International. Myself up at the plate, and right behind him is Ryan Lemaster, who we just saw clear the bases in the last inning. This Royals lineup is really swinging it, and 1 through 9, they are really delivering and making it tough on this really good Tennessee Wesleyan pitching staff, especially out of the bullpen here, as they've tacked on 6 runs now in the 7th and 8th.
Yeah, it's the end game has been all HIU here in this one. That one's going to be bunted out. Bertini will grab it, fire over to first base, and there's 1 out in the inning, as the runner will move over to third base in the bottom of the 8th. At this point, the score does not matter. You're playing whatever you can to scratch across more runs to win a national title. You're not trying to make friends in any way.
No, I guarantee you, in the Hope International dugout, their coaching staff definitely believes that this game is not over. So they're trying to put on as many runs as they can to try to take a little bit of pressure off their pitcher, who's going to go back out there in the 9th, I would assume. But you're in the national championship game. I mean, you can scores. You got to score as many runs as you can. I mean, that's the name of the game. If whoever scores the most runs wins. So, yeah, I don't see there would be a problem here, Bunning. Still moving guys around. I mean, you're playing for a ring, so you got to do whatever you do. And that's your team. That's how your team plays, and you stick with what your strengths are.
Yeah, they're sticking with it. It has definitely been working for them. Jason says these 2 schools are actually across the street from each other, between HIU and Cal State Fullerton. That's actually a really popular thing for some reason. There are multiple places across the country.
That's like us, or that's like Columbia and Mizzou. We're a block separated by each other.
Yeah, I mean, in New Orleans, Loyola and Tulane are across the street from each other. Kaiser and Palm Beach Atlantic are separated by about, a mile. There's a lot of schools nationally that they're really close to each other. Like, I guess HIU and Fullerton are. So that's crazy, But again, the best team in Fullerton, California is playing baseball right now.
I feel like you should.
Yeah,
I feel like you should tweet that at them at Cal State Fullerton.
Yeah, tag Cal State Fullerton.
It's like it. There was this birder account when I was in Columbia, but in 2021, when our catcher got drafted in like the 18th round, somebody tweeted at Mizzou saying, "Come on, guys, get on the board. Columbia's got one before you guys." So,
hey, don't like it, play better, right?
Yeah.
It's gotta be
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of Cal State Fullerton too, I did get a lot of comments on this hat when I was out covering games this year. Probably because I wasn't alive when the Cal State Fullerton Titans won this in '95, so everybody was shocked. But I got to give a shout out to everybody that has noticed it, because it's one of my better ones here for sure.
There you go, G, the home plate umpire making a call there. It's not helpful to HIU, but he's trying to get himself back to the hotel happy hour.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on
You don't have an opinion on umpires?
moving forward.
Oh man.
That was a low strike there. And everybody knows Robert Garza loves umpires.
Especially in the SAC tournament.
I'd like to go in depth on that play, right? And but yeah, I can't. But you know what? We're all human, right? They're trying to do their best. The unfortunate part is, you know, their team never loses, right? The
Right.
umpires that go out there, they never lose. And unfortunately, the players that are out there on the field, one team wins, one team loses. And yeah, I got a lot of respect for the guys that go out there and call these games. I'm friends with quite a bit of them. Get to know them, get to know their families and stuff like that, and just get to hear their stories. So I've made mistakes in the dugout as well. So
that was a low strike called the strike, and that's let's get this one moving. But what a catch there by the
wow.
They're in
Big time play.
A lot of foul territory out there in Lewiston. Chris Munoz says that he signed his national letter of intent to Fullerton. I'm guessing Fullerton because I don't believe I don't believe that HIU. I don't know. They might have been around. I'm not really sure. I know they started baseball. I want to say 2017 when they made the World Series was their first year. Munoz, you definitely weren't in college at that time. Patrick Barrington, who of course is my former roommate in Florida, wants to know: does the Garza ejection at the Cajun collision beat the Kennedy ejection at the World Series versus LC? I was not there at the Cajun, so I don't know. Guys, you seem to believe it's been your highlight of your year. So I'm going to go ahead and say that the Garza ejection does beat the Kennedy ejection.
I'm just glad that there's no video, right? Because if my wife saw that, I'd be in some deep trouble. So
I actually, I wanted to put it in our top 10 plays of the year, but I thought better of it. So, keep that in mind.
I got to be nice to you guys because that's the ace in the hole for y'all now against me. Huh? The funny thing about that, and I hate talking about ejections, right? Because that's not who I am, right? It's stuff like that. It's just, it's not what we're about, getting ejected at Texas Wesleyan. But the crazy thing about that is 2 weeks later, that same umpire comes over and he's officiating our games, and I walk over to him, shake his hand, said, "Hey, I just want to let you know we're all human. This is a game that we all love, and we're all here because we love baseball. And I hope you don't take anything personal, and let's move on and let's have a good game today." And it was really neat. And not only did he do that game 2 weeks later after the ejection, but he wound up coming back to our field later on in the season as well. So
that's the cool part about this level is, it is a small world. Overall, it is a small world. There's a strikeout. That's definitely a strike there. Odorica lights out, continues to be as he strikes out Martinez. McGill will be up here. We are down to the final 2 outs of the season, guys. That's just starting to hit me now.
Yeah. I was just about to say, I've kind of thought about it all week long now. And what is my first year with the brand now and on the podcast, it's flown by. I know we all say that. The baseball season always goes by fast, and it seems to have gone by extremely fast this season. We sit here May 31st, 11:23 p.m. Central Time, and now just 2 more outs away from ending the 2024 season. It's been an incredible ride, and been capped off with an incredible World Series here and an incredible national championship game as Hope International needing just 2 more outs to secure this national title.
They are drawing closer and closer. And if you're an HIU fan, I mean, you have to be excited about this moment for Hope International and Larry Mahoney's squad as you know, it is going to be. And Connor, I'm just going to respond to your text now. Yes,
Okay.
that is the plan. Do that.
Okay.
Is drawing closer and closer as McGill is up here in the top half of the ninth. We are getting really close to the national title. 14-6. Hope International leads Tennessee Wesleyan. Final inning, top of the ninth, 3-2 count. The pitch from Oderica is going to be low. So that'll put a runner on. I thought he was going to ring him up there.
Yeah, close pitch there. Great take by McGill, who we've said it's made a big impact on both sides of the ball for the Bulldogs, and not giving this one up just yet. Big time walk, and sets up Webster now with a runner on, looking to chip into this lead.
Looks like we've got a ball or something on the field. Kind of the worst time to have that happen. Kids throwing the ball around and getting over that fencing there, because you saw HIU hanging all over the dugout, all over the railing, all ready to pounce and ready to move in that direction in what the final, you know, I mean, we could get a ground ball here and this will be it. So we will keep you updated and posted here in the ninth. This would be their first ever title for baseball, a program that is just, compared to a lot of the other programs at this level, they are just a fledgling as far as baseball. Just started back, I want to say 16 or 17 for this program. I believe 17 was their first season. Larry Mahoney has been there throughout the entire time that they have had baseball. Started as an assistant. Now he's the head coach, leading a program that he helped get underway. You know, it's just, it's a great story, great storyline here as in this at bat. Webster continues to fight off these pitches, an 0-2 count, excuse me, with 1 out and 1 on. Tennessee Wesleyan, it would take something, I mean, something just short of miraculous at this point. But after the postseason that we've had, who would be surprised?
Right, exactly. Yeah, this has been a crazy World Series, a World Series to remember, no doubt. As it looks like, as you said, Webster's still fighting pitches off. Quick shout out and question, more of a chat that I saw from John Ramos Henderson here, watching from the Philippines, guys. So
Hey, all right.
international coverage. Actually, that's where my my grandparents were actually stationed there a little bit there in the 50s. So shout out to the Philippines. Yes, we do know where that is here at the NAI level. So big shout out goes to our education system.
That was very close there. A fielder's choice, 1 out away here for HIU, 1 out away from winning the national title. We are with you in this one for the final inning. Hope International leads 14-6. Oderica is going to get himself right and make sure he's all ready for this one, as it'll be, well, Cruz Newman, who is having a great day at the plate, 3 for 4, just trying to extend this game a little bit longer.
I think it's okay to start counting outs now.
Okay, can we count outs now?
Yeah, I think you can do that now.
So Cruz Newman up at the plate. Oderica delivers their strike number 2. 2 strikes in this one. We are down to our potentially final strike of the season. It is all set and ready here. The pitch, it's a ground ball back to Oderica. He's going to underhand to first
There
base.
it is.
First time in program history, the Royals of Hope International are the national champions. A dog pile on Oderica, and HIU has won a national title. They're going to pan into the crowd for some reason there. They should have just kept it on the dog pile. The dog pile is much more entertaining than that, and it is absolutely fantastic. You see Larry Mahoney now giving his staff hugs. A national championship for Hope International. Congratulations to the Royals, to Larry Mahoney, to the fans of HIU. Guys, I know Connor's got a lot to post now. He's been working on the graphic for a while since the game got underway and out of hand a little bit. Taylor, you've been with me through this entire World Series. G, thank you for joining us tonight. Just want to give final thoughts on what today was and really in this game for Hope International winning a national title.
Yeah, I'll kick us off here. Just an incredible run for this Royals squad. When you think about it, opening up the World Series with Reinhardt in the 4-5 matchup, Reinhardt securing that victory and sitting one game away from elimination after day one, and now 5 straight wins in Lewiston to secure the first national title in school history in baseball. Trey Seeley on the mound, despite that rough outing, the rough start, really for both sides. Seeley was able to work 5 innings, strike out 6, limit the damage throughout, and let his offense do its thing with JJ Cruz, Rivera, and Moreno, and then LaMastra there in the 8th spot. A real complete team effort from the Royals in this tournament, especially after dropping that first game. And a big credit goes to Larry Mahoney securing this title for Hope International and bringing it back to the best baseball team in Fullerton, California.
Massive. G, final thoughts for us before we get out of here?
Yeah, congratulations to Coach Mahoney, his staff, his players. They did a phenomenal job all season long in getting to this point. And same thing to Coach Barry and his team. It's a great representation of NAIA baseball, seeing teams that are new onto the scene like Hope International that's in the last couple of years have now recently won a World Series, and a historic team like Tennessee Wesleyan that's gotten there, who's been there and has won World Series. And it just shows how awesome and cool NAIA baseball is. That man, this is emotional. I don't have a dog in the fight here, but watching the emotions from Hope International, it gives you motivation to want to get back to work and get out there, and hopefully that be you. And thank you guys for all that you do for promoting our sport. And I say all our sport, meaning that this is your sport as well. Thank you for all you guys do and helping us grow in NAIA baseball. And again, congratulations to Coach Barry and congratulations to Coach Mahoney for making it all the way to the end.
That's my favorite part is getting to watch the emotions. I've gotten to Lewiston with UG and I've been on, not in the side of what Tennessee Wesleyan is feeling, but been on the side of being eliminated and being hurt and feeling that pain. And then at the same time, the jubilation of getting there. National championship has always eluded me, but it is great to see what Larry Mahoney has done and this HIU team and getting to celebrate and how excited they are. Absolutely really cool to see all of this. And again, it comes down to they're the team that had the best tournament. They had a great regular season. They had a great, conference tournament run that maybe didn't end the way they wanted it to. They got into the opening round tournament and had a great opening round, got themselves to Lewiston, did not have the first game that they would have wanted, came back around, battled through every step of the way and did it beautifully. Congratulations to Hope International. Connor, before we get going, anything you want to say? I know you're working at 1,000 miles a minute here and as we wind down the night at about 11:30 Central.
Yeah, no, it's just been it's been a great year. Congrats to Hope International on a great year, and congrats to all the other teams that made the World Series on a great year. Yeah, this year was a ton of fun. We grew a lot as the brand, and I'm excited to see what the future holds, and I'm already ready to. Well, I'll take a week off, and then I'll get ready to start planning for next year and this summer stuff. But no, super awesome for Hope International. GSAT goes back to back. Um, yeah, I'm just super happy that we get a break, but I'm also excited when's that next NAI baseball game going to be. So I see Garza's puppies making a little debut.
Oh,
So,
hey, all right.
but no, it's awesome. This is one of the greatest days of the season, but also it sucks because the season's over. But here soon it'll feel like it's just we're getting ready to send out questionnaires. So I'm excited for that, and it's a good year.
We're going to be at that point before you even know it. And for those of you who are still with us in this, and anybody who's watching later, we will definitely take about we'll tell you we'll take a week off. Really what it'll be is we'll take the weekend, Saturday and Sunday off. We'll start talking about awards, getting nominations, everything like that next week, finishing all World Series teams, finishing starting all the process of all NAI ball, starting the process of freshman of the year, assistant coach of the year, coach of the year, reliever of the year, and also pitcher and the Lou Brock Award, which is given to the best player nationally. All of that will get started here within about a week. We'll have one more podcast left in the season. We've got a lot to look forward to next season. We've got our 100th podcast ever, our 100th episode ever coming up, which is incredible to think about when you think, this is not a year-round podcast. This is, 5 months. This is a journey that started for us several months ago. Realistically, it starts in November and goes all the way through here. I cannot thank you guys enough. Taylor for joining us for the first time this season. Tyler for being with us. G for being with us on this broadcast, and of course, all you do for us. Connor for the last couple of years, as well as the our families and loved ones who understand, significant others who understand what we do, how much time it takes. Like we said, we're not making we're not making, I want to say thousands, we're not even making hundreds of dollars doing this. We're not. Nobody pays us. We're not well liked in some circles. We're loved in other circles.
True.
It's something that it's a media outlet. It's not everybody's favorite, but you know what? We come out here and do the best we can every single day for everyone. And getting to see Hope International celebrate like they did makes it worth it. It makes it fun. It's incredible to watch. It's one of my favorite things every year. It's sad knowing that we are in that part of the year where the games are over. And that's the best part is we've had a wonderful season. Again, I want to give a huge thanks to Mickey and Melissa Butler, Cody's parents, who support us every step of the way in everything we do. And everything we do is with Cody in mind. And of course, we saw Jeff Moyer post a very heartfelt tweet today about he went to the spot where Cody would go every single night while he was there in Lewiston. And that's where he would be, and Jeff, Cody and I were close, but Jeff was his best friend. And, I like to think after Jeff, it was probably me. And so, that's important to Jeff, and I'm glad he got to do that and experience that. And, we carry Cody, who started in the eyeball with us every single day, every step of the way, and in everything we do. So guys, we cannot thank y'all enough for being part of our family. All of y'all who are in here, all 13 of you who have gone through all of this while I've been talking. And of course the season is now over, so nobody's interested anymore. But we're still going to go over some stuff in the off season, and we have all NAI ball, all World Series, and all of our awards to go through this year. But if nobody's got anything, Connor, I'm going to go ahead and sign us off.
I think I'm good, man. I think you hit the nail on the head there. So take us away,
Yep.
man.
Awesome. So that'll do it for us this season. We've still got one more podcast left in the year, but for myself, that'll do it for us. And we are going to take a much deserved week break before we get into all of our postseason awards and everything like that. A special thanks to Texas Wesleyan head baseball coach Robert Garza for joining us today throughout this watch along. This has been so much fun. The first time we've ever done this. I am super thankful to y'all who've stuck through this and been with us from the start. It has been absolutely incredible. So for Tyler Norris, who is hopefully closer to Alabama right now than when we started this game, for Coach Robert Garza, one of the most important people in bringing me to this level of baseball, for Taylor Thomas and for Connor Darnell, I'm Robbie Gutierrez at RobG1063. All of your news, stats, scores, and information 365 days a year, 24/7. Really, it's 25/8 all year long at NAI Ball on X, Facebook, and Instagram. That'll do it for us tonight. Thanks for being part of our 2024 watch along, National Championship watch along in our 2024 season. We will talk to you again soon. Have a great day and an even better tomorrow. We're out.